Hey, Trekkies, good morning. Welcome to Tokyo Drift. Unfortunately, I can't play my drift music because, yeah, I'm getting claims on the music, just that little short snippet, so won't be able to play it. But good morning nonetheless. We are here for day three, the evening session. I know you didn't see me day three morning, which was last night. I needed to rest my voice. Yeah, I was going too mad yesterday, so I had to rest my throat. That being said, I am happy. We're excited. We're back again, and we are ready to rumble. Oh, I need to get rid of this background sound that I'm hearing. Okay. Let's see over there for now. All right, so let's see who is here in the chat with me. I am seeing 109 people here, guys. Welcome, welcome. I appreciate you guys being here. I know it's Monday morning. A lot of you will be back at work. Guess what? I'm gonna be here with you while you get ready. So it's gonna be exciting, exciting times ahead. Don't forget to hit that like button. And as per usual, before we get into anything too solid, let's just do a shout out sound off in the chat. Let me know who is here with me. Of course, y'all know I appreciate you being here 100%. So we have Lawi Kiplagat here. Kiplangat here. We are waiting as Team Kenya. All right, Team Kenya, welcome. He was here for a minute from 4:42. What the going in a John shop? Hi Kamala, what's good? Hey Black African. Choba Dede. Hey Shamar, hey Edgar. Um, hey Rohan, hey Pauline, hey Dashawn, hey Jay. Big up, hey Ziki. Hey Ronaldo. What's good? Hey Andrian and Andrea. Hey, what's up? Saboli, what's up? Yes, Miss Tracky and Mr. Trackies, all trackies. Everybody's a trackie. Because we love track and field. I'm excited, guys. I am excited to be here yet again and cover yet another day. Exciting times ahead for Team Jamaica. Right now, we are third on the medal. I don't think there were no finals in the morning, not true, right? So we're still supposed to be third. I haven't checked it yet, but we're still supposed to be third on the medal podium with three medals, one gold and two silver medals, sitting only behind the USA and Kenya. And it's kind of interesting because I go back to a video I did sometime, I think, after the USA championships, and I highlighted that, you know what, this 2025 is giving me 2015, that kind of vibe I'm getting, where Team Jamaica is going to come out strong, Team Kenya is going to be coming out strong, you know what I mean? And so far, that's how it's been looking. Of course, Team USA is always there, but when we talk about challenging for podium, positions, and who will top the medal table at the end of the day, whether it be from a count perspective or otherwise, then yeah, things start to get interesting. USA, I believe, sits on 6 medals, three more than Jamaica, right? So we actually have the second most medals. I think we're tied with what was it, Ethiopia, I think. Let me just double check the medal table, guys. If this website would load. Doesn't seem to want to load so that I can tell you about it. All right. So no, okay, Italy. So Italy had 3 at the time I checked, but now Italy has moved to 4. So Italy has 4 medals. So we're down to being in third overall position from a medal count perspective. But again, from a quality perspective, we are sitting in third position as well, with those 3 medals, right? As I said, USA sitting on 6, 5 gold and 1 bronze, and Kenya sitting on 2 with 2 gold medals. Right now, the stream has begun. We're taking a look at what's going on the pole vaults. They're in the, I guess, the warm-up track, or at the warm-up area. Right, so nothing yet on track. I want to also give you guys an update. What was the other country with 3? Right, Ethiopia had 3. So Ethiopia also has 3, but because they have no gold medals, they're a bit down the pecking order in ninth place based on the medal table. But Still great going for the countries that you always expect to see, really challenging for high placings on the medal podium. I'm actually quite intrigued seeing Italy with so many medals so far, actually a whole four, right? So good going for them. um so before I get into the chat again, I want to give you guys a couple updates. So the first update I'm sure you guys would have seen already is that the Olympic 100-meter champion Julian Alfred is out and will no further or take no further part at this 2025 um, World Championships. She picked up a hamstring strain, and this was, I believe, they said during the warm up for the finals for the 100 meters, where she did win the bronze medal. But I also want to highlight to you all that remember there were those talks about that injury from Julian Alfred leading into the World Championships, and I highlight this because a lot of people don't understand when I say I use discernment a lot of times when you see me come onto my channel and I speak on certain things. It's not just taking everything at face value. So not because you look at me and tell me, oh, the sky is gray, I'm just gonna believe the sky is gray. I need to go check the sky out and see if the sky is gray. You know what I mean? Before I can say, okay, the sky is gray. And even if I look and I see gray, but I still start to think in my mind, is it something being masked? Is there something up there masking the actual sky why the sky looks gray? You know what I mean? So I think in life in general, you have to use a certain level of discernment, and that is what I do. That's my approach here on TXT Track Time. So yeah, I will ask questions of athletes even when they say things. I don't believe everything. You know what I mean? It happens for Jamaican athletes as well. I don't believe everything. You know what I mean? So that's interesting that she, eventually has pulled out with an injury. A hamstring strain. But again, speedy recovery from her. Of course, we were looking forward to her in the 200 meters. She's a world leader, 21.71 seconds. But it's an opportunity for other athletes as well. And it's a championship track. Is you have spills, you have thrills. I recall, in recent times, 2024, Jamaica had a really, really horrible, championships, many spills to the point where going into 2025, a lot of Jamaicans even lost confidence in our team. And something I kept reiterating, guys, it was only 1 year, it was one championship. Like, things happen, life happens, right? That doesn't mean that's what's going to happen in 2025. You have to stand firm, you have to get ready, and you have to keep supporting. You know what I mean? And even as I dropped those preview videos, leading into the championships, many people said, I have no expectations. And I'm like, wow, it took 2024 to make everybody scared and shy away. And this is gonna happen. You're gonna have athletes pick up injuries from time to time, and you just have to, roll with the punches, take our L's, and keep it pushing. And as long as the athlete remains in the sport and they get back healthy, then you look to see these athletes back on top. And that's the same for Julian Alfred. I know when I did my 100-meter video talking about, Tina and, the up and coming athletes, for Jamaica. And I talked about, Shakiri still being around. Of course, Melissa Jefferson wouldn't still being around. I failed to mention clearly, Julian still being around. Julian will still be around. You know what I mean? So we are looking to see her come back, better, bigger, and better in 2026. Absolutely. All right. So that's the first update. Let's just double check what's happening in the chat. Morning, guys. Morning, Don. Morning, spoiled. Why are you called spoiled game? Oh, spoiled gaming. Hey King. Hey Nicole, what's good? Hey Dell, what's good? All right, so our first super sticker. I see 290 people here, guys. Welcome. Please remember to hit that like button. 999 super sticker. Really excited, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Carrie comes through big. All right. Them dead. Yes, Oblique Seville responds to Noah Loud and says them dead. All right, so guys, guess what? Literally, the action is starting thick and fast. I'm not even get through everything yet, and we're already at the 400 meters, 400-meter hurdle heats for the men. And of course, I'm going to get through what happened last evening for the women as well. So let's dive into that though. We have the first heat is already on the track. They're doing the announcements. So let me just give you a rundown of who is in the first heat. Okay, so in Heat 1 from Spain, we have Jesus David Delgado. In lane 2 is Wiseman Ware Mukobi from Kenya. In lane 3, Chris Robinson from the USA. In lane 4 from Sweden, we have Oscar Edlund. Then in lane 5, we have Shunta. Am I calling the right heat? Where's the Jamaican? Okay. In lane 5, we have Shunta Inoue from Japan. Then in lane 6, we have Tyree Donovan from Great Britain. Then we have in lane 7, Abraham Samba from Qatar. Then in lane 8, we have Malik James King from Jamaica. And in lane 9, we have Chi Chong Cheong. Okay. Listen, Trackies, the pronunciations. I'm so sorry. I'm trying my best. All right. This is a really, really stacked 400-meter hurdles heat. Heat as it starting off really strong. It's kind of giving me, 400-meter vibes. So we have Chris Robinson. Clearly, we have to also look out for Abraham Asamba. So it can go Abraham Asamba because he's returned, Chris Robinson. And I'm hoping to see Malik James King, get up into the conversation. Jamaica is in getting good vibes. We are looking good. The athletes are turning up. You know what I mean? He hasn't had the strongest season, picked up an injury at the um Grand Slam Track League and looked kind of, out of it for the most season. Looked like he was, running heavy most of the times. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that he's turned up here really good. Let's see. They're off. All right. So Abraham Asamba gets a good start. So does Malik James King. But Abraham Asamba now has taken out the stagger on the British athletes. And Malik James King is going with him, but he has now overtaken himself again based on the stagger. He's leading, but Malik is still in the conversation. The British athlete is still there. The USA athlete is coming through as well. So yeah, good running from the athletes that you're expecting to be in there. No, Malik James King is now dropping back. So let's see. Let's hope he keeps strong in the final 50. All right, he's coming back, but Abraham Asamba is in the lead. The Chris Robinson is there. Here comes Malik. Okay, Malik I think came in for second. All right, good running from Malik. He typically takes it out slow. Not my favorite type of running when it comes to anything 400 meters. I think you need to kind of have a more balanced race, right? Not necessarily too slow over the first two are too fast. You know what I mean? But he qualified, and that's what is required. They take the first four and the next four based on times. Malik has turned up and he has done what was required. I'm gonna be checking on the times. So the first heat is done. Let's just get you the times now. Beautiful results. Okay. So we had no, he ended up fourth anyway. Okay, that was pretty close. So this is how the times went. Abraham Asamba 48:03, Tyrell Donovan 48:26, Chris Robinson 48:27, Molly James King 48:27. So that's as close as you get. Well, of course, you can get down to the thousands and tie. You know what I mean? But that aside, really, really close qualification. I believe these were the athletes that you're looking out for the most part. Of course, Tyrell Donovan, came through as well pretty strongly for Great Britain, right? But yeah, the athletes that we were looking to qualified, and that's good. And Jamaica isn't it? That's great, right? So first round navigated. Now we just focus on the next. Hey Jordan, what's up? Hey Alicia, what's up? Guys, if I accidentally skip over you, apologies. Hey Tropical Nomad TV, what's good? Um, Yeah, that was pretty tight. It was given, the Jamaican second, but qualifying is qualifying. You know what I mean? It's kind of gonna make things interesting though for the, how they rank, or do the seedings for the semifinal, and it's probably gonna end up in a really really stacked semi, right? But I really look at the quartermilers, the quartermile events the same way, right? You really get super fast, semis, right? So he's just gonna have to get in his mind in the game and know that he's gonna have to run really hard if he wants to, feature or qualify to the finals. And I'm hoping that he's able to pull it off. Um, hey, Marston, what's up? Good morning, guys. Morning. All right, so before we get into the second heat, I think I was mentioning something about Oblique Seville. So Oblique Seville had responded and said them dead when he won the men's 100-meter gold medal, yesterday. Of course, as I said, making Jamaica's go crazy. Actually, I believe that they say Tokyo turned into little Jamaica over there. You know what I mean? And it's kind of giving me Beijing 2008 when Jamaica took over. You know what I mean? Jamaican just come with a certain level of vibes. You know what I mean? That's undeniable. And when we're on top, everybody's having fun. That's what I love. I want to see if I see a little snippet of the medal podium. And if I see a small snippet, I will play that here because, of course, we had the medals given out. I saw that a little earlier, but I want to know how copyright go and TXT track time. So if I don't really see a snippet of it, then yeah, you're probably not gonna get me playing it here. Um, Let me go to this. I'm trying to find two things. I want to see the reaction and I want to see the medal, but it looks like nobody has put it up just yet. So we're still waiting. All right. I'm not seeing the medal podium. Did nobody snip it? That's interesting. People usually snip stuff like this and put it online, but I'm not seeing it. So as soon as I see that track is, I will play it. I will play it for you guys, but I'm not seeing it just yet, so that you can see us, getting that first gold medal, and of course, hearing our anthem play as well, a proud moment, for all of us as Jamaicans, for sure. I don't even see the amount of posts that if both Oblique Civil, I not even see when Oblique Civil respond and say them dead. I should have saved that video. I should have saved it. I swear. I don't know why I didn't save it. Oh my gosh. No, I do have it actually. Let me put it up. Good. I'm glad I saved it because I'm like, why didn't I save this video? All right, guys, I'm gonna actually put it up on screen. But before I play, let's get into heat two for the men's 400-meter hurdles. So in Heat 2, we have Matrick Gosek from Slovenia. Then we have Daiki Ogawa from Japan. We have Karen McMaster from BVI. Then we have Alisa dos Santos from Brazil. Then we have Mark Anthony Ibrahim from, what's his, Lebanon. Then we have Breholz from Germany. Then we have Alexandro Sibilio from Italy. Then we have Akani. Child, this area start already. All right. Never mind, track is. I don't really like looking at the thing when the it seems the feed is behind what is happening on World Athletics, at least. So the race has already started, but I don't want to see the results before I actually see the race. Because I like, doing blind reactions, that kind of thing. I think it's more exciting that way. So set, and they're off. So far, nobody has made a move just yet. The Italian seems to have, made a move, but I'm expecting to see. Okay, here comes the Brazilian now. Dos Santos makes his move. So far, based on the stagger, he should be leading. But I'm also looking at Karen McMaster as well. Actually, before the Brazilian came through, it was Karen McMaster. You know what I mean? So it's good to see Karen McMaster back and running well. So we still have the Brazilian Cara Master is there. It looks like the Slovenian is also running strong as well. Karen Master is falling back. The German is coming through. The so it is the Brazil. Oh no no no! It's actually the athlete from Qatar that won Hamida on the line. Of course, that's because Dos Santos was slowing down considerably, didn't need to do too much. 48.43 for the win. Dos Santos 48.48 for second. The German 48.81 and the Slovenian 48.92. What I will say is that considering that Dos Santos placed second here, again, it's gonna make the seedings very interesting because not only do they do it based on placing first but times next, so it's placing then time, so it's going to be interesting to see how these semifinals are seeded. Chuckies, can you let me know if I'm actually behind the feed? I'm not sure which internet I'm actually on. My voice, I had to rest it, guys. If I didn't rest it, then it would have been gone. And I actually broke that because I, did a little recording with Julie and Alfred yesterday. But yeah, I had to rest it. So I'm glad I'm back. You know what I mean? And banging. Yeah. Um, am I behind or is my feed up to date? Up is it up with everybody else's feed? Let me see which internet I'm using. Guys, listen, I had to go through so much to get this internet fixed. Y'all wouldn't even know. You all wouldn't even know. So much, but it's fixed. I'm happy. I'm excited. We're back, and of course, we're banging. I said I was gonna play you the Oblique Seville video. Give me a second. Let me play that. Oh wait, now. Um, but this is last week. This is yesterday. Oh, but these are my videos. Wait a minute. I don't know what the video is name. Its name. It doesn't have a name. I need to start renaming my videos. Copy. Put that here. Okay, I found it. Open. So I'm gonna replay the click. I'm gonna replay the Oblique Seville.
Great. That's the only word I can say. Great and thank God.
Tell him.
Trust in God.
Trust in God.
Them dead.
Them dead.
Great man. Great.
Oblique Seville said I'm dead. I want him say, I want to say Oblique Seville was panicking in the back. Guys, that is why I tell y'all to hold the faith with the athletes. Hold the faith. Okay, as I mentioned, Oblique Seville. Something I do not appreciate, guys. Why do y'all come in the comment section telling lies on TFC track time and saying things I never said? Like, come on, guys, don't do that. Of course, I know I may say I have takes, sometimes that many of you don't agree with, but don't say things I didn't say. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to, what went on with Oblique Seville in the heats. You all know 100% I was here with you all live and I supported him. And I said at the end of the day, it happened no, I'm glad it happened no more than later, in a later round at least, whether it be semifinal or final, right? But yes, stand behind him and let's go, right? But it was just kind of interesting to see people, say I said something different. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? But anyway, um another thing I want to highlight when it comes to Oblique Seville, and this is something that we've, I guess most of you have disagreed with me on, especially now that you're looking at the outcome, where he has won the men's 100-meter gold medal, and that is what happened at the national championships. Now, of course, there was a really lengthy delay leading into the actual race going off at our national championships, the men's 100-meter finals. And of course, I particularly took issue with that because that's not something that you would see, anywhere. You know what I mean? And of course, that does affect everybody as well, right? I did highlight that to you all, but I also want to point out that The reason why the race was held up, which many people didn't know, was the fact that Kishane Thompson, when the starters said get back on your starts, decided that he wasn't going to get back on his starts. He went to say, okay, I'm going to go drink some water, waste a little bit more time. So he wasted as much time as possible so that Oblique Seville would have an opportunity, to compete in the men's 100-meter finals. So I guess I can blame, Kishane a little bit as well, for the delay. So that was something that we found out as well yesterday, coming through on the feed from Bruce James, that it was actually Kishane why the race was delayed and not Oblique Seville. So yes, the issue happened with Oblique Seville, but the race was going to go on. But it was actually Kishane why the race did not go on, because he decided that he was going to waste some time because he wanted Oblique Seville there. So yeah, so that's what happened. All right. So before I get into the comments and hear y'all eating me alive based on my take from back then, and I know many of you don't agree, I'm gonna get back into Heat 3 because it's happening thick and fast, right? So we have in Heat 3 from Sweden, Carl Benstrom. In lane two, not yeah, yeah, in lane two, we have Matthias Lima from Brazil. We have Assini Wilson from Jamaica in lane three. We have Burke Akman from Turkey. In lane four, we have Junji Calvin Kwek. Jeez. Okay. That's a name. In lane five, then we have in lane six, Ismail Dodai Abakar. Then in lane seven, we have Komorina Tisang. And then in lane eight, we have Joshua Aboku. And then in lane nine, we have Karsten Warholm. So again, the heats are pretty stacked, right? Well, then again, maybe I'm only saying it's stacked because the Jamaicans are in it. But anyway, the world record holder comes out in lane nine, right? He is the world leader this year, looking like he's back to, his warrior best. So let's see how, Carson navigates each round. He typically goes out really fast and then, backs off. Let's see if that's what he does here. I am hoping that Assini will be able to, qualify as well. But you have to keep your eyes on, Ackman as well, in the race. Carl Benstrom in the race, right? You have to keep your eyes on, Abakar as well. So there are a number of athletes that can, qualify as well as Tisang. So there are a number of athletes here that if they run true to form or how they've been competing this season, then they can also qualify. So it's not a done deal that the Jamaicans will be in, but I'm hoping that Assini Wilson will be able to be in the conversation. Remember, they take four and the next four based on times. Yeah, Qatar is doing something in the hurdles. Brazil is also doing something in the hurdles. And I like that I'm seeing more and more African countries in these quarter miles. You see the likes of, Kenya, you see Botswana. And, something I failed to mention yesterday in the men's 100-meter finals was that half of those, athletes were actually from, the African continent. We had, South Africa there. We had Botswana there, even though Let's Sealy, did false start. We had, which other country was there again? I'm missing out an athlete. We had two South Africans. We had a Nigerian was there. So really good. All right, so the race is off. Karsten gets a good start. Assini also gets a good start. The athlete from is this Quitara again? It's looking really good as well. Let's see how they come off the first two. Still Karston, still the Botswana, the not the Botswana, sorry, the Qatarian, I guess. Then Qatar is actually leading, right? Then we have let's see, where is Assini? Oh, Assini has fallen back. Let's see if he's able to pull through something in this final 15. Not looking like it. He's really struggling. Carson is now taking his time trying to come through the track. Actually, you know what? So Carson finishes third. Carson took this very easy. And I'm thinking that this is mental maturity from Carson Warholm. I think this is mental maturity from Karsten Warholm because typically he would have, as I said, run a really good first two and then, backed off. But even his first two wasn't the strongest. And just looking at him, you could tell that he wasn't giving his all, but at the same time, just doing enough. And I'm thinking that he's doing this because guess what? Right, Benjamin was the Olympic champion or is the Olympic champion, right? So in my opinion, he's probably trying to save as much strength as possible because he knows that he's going to need everything potentially to make sure that he's able to retain his gold medal. I am reading that 2023, not true. He gets injured from time to time. I'm not don't recall if he's the one that won our right in 2023. Or was it the Brazilian? Some of these athletes didn't turn up, I think, in 2023 due to injury. But that being said, outside of that, as long as they're there, I'm expecting him to do really good in the finals based on how he took it out. So I think this is him probably, just maturing a bit in terms of his racing plan and strategy. But again, being third in this race poses a problem because the seeding is now going to be thrown out of whack. So you have Lima from Brazil taking the win. Um, Abakar from Qatar taking second. So taking the win 48-15, second 48-3-4. Carson Warholm third 48-56, and Akman 48-68 from Turkey. All right. So if we go down to Turkey, I'm not a fan of Turkey. Asini Wilson was eighth and he ran 49.91 seconds. Remember, they take four and the next four based on times. So it is official. Asini Wilson will take no further part at this 2025 World Championships in the men's 400-meter hurdles. We're on the same speed. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. All right. There's another video when they put together when he ran in the rain and after the heat. Okay, guys, I'm this is so when I just started in this space, I used to just grab videos from anywhere and play them, right? But something somebody said to me, after some time was that this is their lane, and we have to appreciate their lane as well. So you see, when people create little videos, I'm not really keen on necessarily playing them because that's their part of the game where they can earn, right? So if people want to watch, they're probably gonna have to go onto their platform to watch it. You know what I mean? So yeah, my thing is commentary. I'm fine with doing commentary, right? And allowing those persons that are putting together cool little video snippets to let those things play and earn as much as they can from it as well. um does that mean something different? Does what did I say? I don't know. Does that mean something different than what I'm thinking? I know our Jamaican slangs change at all the time. What's the slang? I'm not sure what I said. Yeah, Kishane is a real one for sure. Yeah, for sure. Um, looks like Assini felt something mid race. Price is right. Loser music. I'm confused. T, when is the medal ceremony? The medal ceremony is gone. I was actually looking for a snippet of it online to play for you all, but I haven't found it yet. But I'll keep checking. I forgot I said I was gonna send something. Let me just do something else really quickly while we wait. So the Men's long jump qualification is actually on right now. All right, so guys, let's check on those likes. We have 104 likes with 300 plus people here. Guys, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. How do you copy the Guys, I feel like I fish out of water sometimes when I don't do these things for a minute, because someone asked me yesterday to share my live stream and I forgot completely about it, and I need to do it now, but I don't know how to share it. Do I need to actually go on my thing to share it? Go to my channel? I don't know. Is there a share something someplace? Okay, here's a link. Oh, I got a link. All right, I figured it out. All right, let me share this really quickly. Um, all right, so Rashawn Clark is coming up on the track now, so I'm gonna be going through that start list. They've already completed it. So in heat four we have Victor Ntweng from Botswana. Then we have Vit Muller from Czech Republic. Then we have um, in lane three Emil Agyikim from Germany. Then we have in lane four Seamus Derbyshire from Great Britain. Then we have in lane five the race start. All right. Right, Benjamin is also here. Rashawn Clark is here, just to keep those names in the back of your head. So let's see how this race goes for Team Jamaica. Let's see how Rai Benjamin navigates the round. All right, so they're off. Rai comes out pretty slow. Doesn't look like he's trying to do too much. Rashawn Clark, the staggers are. Okay, so Rashawn has made up the stagger on the athlete on the outside of him, even probably on Rice somewhat, as a matter of fact, now that I'm looking at. Again, Rice taking it as easy as possible. The Swiss athlete is there as well. He is running really strong. So it's the Swiss athlete based on the stagger. Rashawn Clark is there as well. On the inside, the Czech Republic athlete is running strong as well. I'm not seeing. Okay, here comes the athlete from the Netherlands. Oh no, that's Germany. Okay, Oh, Rashawn is falling back, 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 back. Okay, try to be in fourth. Here comes Ray Benjamin. Easy. Come, Rashawn. Look. Jesus. No. Was he beat out for fourth? Mighty God, help me. Yes, he was. 48:83. It's time to check times now. 48:7. So that's one. Um, ooh. And that's another two from the first heat. Jeez. So Rashawn Clark right now is actually the fourth and final person on the bubble. So you know what that means? If in the final heat somebody runs faster in the bubble than him, like as a non-automatic qualifier, it means he doesn't progress. That's tough. That is tough. We're gonna have to keep our eyes on the fifth place finisher for the fifth and final heat. Hmm. Ryan looks really good. Ryan looks really good. So it was a similar approach as what we saw with Karsten. Karsten is not, the prettiest hurdler, I don't think. You know what I mean? As he doesn't look as smooth, when he's hurdling like Rye. So it's hard to use that to distinguish who looks better. But I'm curious to see what happens in the semi with these men. And of course, I think it's gonna be a real burn up in the final. Rashawn Clark, though, this one is tough, man.
It's hard to when you're not running a normal stride pattern. It's not you can't invest an awful lot of time in having a B plan, if you like, having what you would do in the heats in the semi final because it only matters
Our
minutes.
400-meter hurdlers weren't having the strongest season, to be fair, because we've seen them with numerous setbacks this season. Rashawn is another one. Grand Slam, Grand Slam worked well for some people, and Grand Slam didn't work well for some people. And I think our hurdlers it didn't really work well for because Rochelle Clayton is another one that picked up an injury from competing at the Grand Slam track league. So, but it helps some people, from a getting races in and just being a bit more consistent and ensuring that when they get to especially like a championships they can manage rounds, you know what I mean? So we've seen the likes of even Oblique Seville competed there. He looked really good, walked away with the overall glory for the men's 100 meters. Melissa Jefferson Woodney is another one that competed well there and turned up and took the women's 100 meters. You know what I mean? And is expected to do really well in the two as well. But then you have people like Gabby Thomas that went there and killed self and ended up injured. You know what I mean? So it worked for some, it didn't work for some. Life. Yeah, the medals are out already. I'm gonna keep looking if I see the video so that I can share it with y'all. And that is the medal ceremony video. Hey Charlene, what's up? Rashawn was fifth, guys.
And Falani was just he was almost playing with it in Appleton. He was having massive
Rashawn was
success.
fifth. Hey Javion, what's up?
And I think it's
Rashawn was fifth.
somewhere else to play with. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It didn't happen. And Sarah Boyakov swept in
Hey
in
Breaking
that
Sports
fight
Bulletin, what's
last
up?
5 centimeter. And Falani suddenly
Congratulations on yesterday's sprint results. Yeah, Jamaicans are over the moon. We're so happy for our athletes. Jamaica is back. Yeah, we're actually doing what we have been showing all season, which is good because a lot of times athletes go into championship and it doesn't turn out well. It's turning out well.
hard on himself, Sarah Boyakov. I feel like he's been building to take
Clark didn't see the athlete. Yeah, but that is why you have to have your peripheral vision on. You can't just be slowing down, especially when you're in fourth position, because you don't know who else is there trying to get into that fourth position. You know what I mean? Um. So yeah, we have to keep our eyes on the fifth place finisher in this heat that is coming up now. And in this heat, we have, and that is the fifth and final heat, we have Nezar from Turkey. I never really had issues, saying Turkey, and now I have all these problems saying Turkey. Anyway, Ronin is there, Francisco is there, um, Chalmers is there, Dean from the USA is there. Nathaniel Ezekiel is also there. Toyota from Japan is there. Um, Shabelo from South Africa is there. And um, is this? No, this isn't Czech. Anyway, then we have Patrick that is there. I was wondering which country this was. It's actually Bangladesh. Hmm. Let's see how these athletes go. But he's pretty much way behind the A ball in terms of performance. Says, but something I heard, I think it was yesterday, is that World Athletics is making room for countries to have at least one athlete participate at the World Championships, even if they're not good enough. So you will see some athletes that don't, are not remotely close to the rest of the field competing, and that's because they're trying to be inclusive, with other countries across the world. So good going. They're off. So I'm looking out for Dean in this race. I'm looking at for Nathaniel Ezekiel. Let's see how things go here. The Japanese is running well. The South African is running well. The American is now, coming into things now. So the four in the front are not now Nathaniel Ezekiel, then the American, I think, based on the saga, or at least how I'm looking at things. The South African has fallen back a bit. The Brit has come through now on the inside. Is that a Brit? Yeah, Brits. And then a Brazilian as well. The Brazilians are looking good in the hurdles. Nathaniel Ezekiel has come into 2025 looking like a seasoned professional in terms of his round management. I've watched him on the circuit as well, running, I believe, in the Diamond League, has looked really good. You know what I mean? Nigeria has found a really, really solid athlete in this men's 400-meter hurdles. And of course, he is the NCAA Division One outdoor track and field champion, right? So he's had a long, long, long collegiate season, and he's here running, really well. So yeah, I'm looking out for him for the future for sure. He's one of those athletes that will be contending, for medals. I like when athletes are hungry and turn up and compete strong. Okay, fourth place, 49.50. You know what that means, guys? Rashawn is in. Rashawn makes it through literally by the skin of his teeth. He was sitting down in the fourth and final position on the bubble, and he makes it in. Good. But it's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be tough for Jamaicans to navigate past the semifinal if they don't improve. So let's just say this was a one-off thing. He misjudged this race, mistimed it. Let's see what happens in the semi. But if we're gonna go off what happened in this, heat, then he's not looking good. Not looking as good as I would have hoped, and probably Malik is where, we have to probably lay a bit more, expectation. But even with Malik, it's gonna be tough. The seedings for this race is the semifinals are gonna be very, very important as it relates to whether or not Jamaicans do stand a chance of navigating past the semifinals. All right, let's check these comments. Um, hey Jamal, what's up? You guys are hoping for the heat to be extremely slow. Well, guess what? You got what you wanted. It was slower. It was slower. Yeah, Rashawn made it to the semi, not final, semi-final. Rashawn is giving me first round oblique. Really? All right. Ooh. Let's get into the men's long jump. Let me give you all an update there because Tajay Gale is currently on my screen. So I need to give you all an update in the men's long jump. Because I haven't even talked about the women's 400-meter hurdles that we watched from last evening, but we'll get there, at some point during this stream. So in pool A, so they're both of the pools are running concurrently, right? So we have Miltadis Tentaglu already automatically qualified, 8.17 meters. Hasn't looked the strongest this season, but looks as though he has come into these championships ready to go, right? Let's see if we have any Jamaican here. Kerry McLeod is in pool A and he failed his first attempt. I gotta make sure that we jump well. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that. I'm trying to look to see what is the requirement. I think it's 8.15 meters, but I'm not seeing it on screen. I think what is required is 8.15 meters. I'll correct it if I need to, but I think it's 8.15 makes you automatic. I think. Yeah. All right. So Tajay Gale jumped 8.07 in pool B, and this is from his second attempt, and he is leading pool B. We have a third Jamaican as well. Where is he? Let's go back to pool A. Did I miss him? Nikolai Williams. Okay. Nikolai Williams is also in Pool A and he failed his first attempt as well. So these guys are living a little dangerously. Nikolai Williams, Kerry McLeod. So they have to make sure that they get on the board for the second attempt and hope it gets, a little bit up there in terms of the distance. And yeah, let's see. I think it's well within their capabilities though to qualify. I mean, Nikolai, his PB, I believe, is around 8.17 or something like that, but he has looked consistent, so he can jump it. You know what I mean, this season. So even if he doesn't jump it, I think he can still be in top 12, right? But let us see. Let us see. I think we can have all three Jamaicans make it through to the finals, but let us see. Why they not showing me on this thing how much they need to jump? Am I look? What do I need to be looking at? All right, I'm not seeing it. I think it's 8.15 meters. So based on, when you look at the two pools together, I think Tajay Gill is sitting down in second place overall. So Tentaglu is leading, Tajay is second place, from an overall perspective when you combine the two pools. And of course, as I said, Kerry and Nikolai do not have any registered marks just yet. Um, Yep, God is good, but remember, God doesn't just work for us, God works for everybody. So athletes have to go out there and perform. You know what I mean? You can't necessarily pray to God and say, God, let us beat this person. That's not how it works. Or at least that's my belief, at least. Um yeah, good jump from oh, you don't know. You don't know Nikolai? Guys, that means you're not watching the channel, man. I cover collegiate athletes hard on my channel. And I tell you all day, every day about them once it's collegiate season, right? So you gotta watch when the collegiates are competing, may not be popular, but still watch because that's how we keep track of our athletes that have, transitioned from high school, to college and are still competing well, right? I don't, and a lot of people probably don't know this, but I tend to not really like, covering, the high schoolers, and that's because I have this weird thing about, living vicariously through kids. I don't want to live vicariously through kids, you know what I mean, and we have weird, creepy expectations of them. So with that being said, I just let kids be kids. If they, do well, then they do well. You know what I mean? But that's just how I think about it. But when they get to college level, then I start being a bit more serious when it comes to how they're competing and, reporting on it a bit more consistent. So yeah, you have to keep your eyes on what's happening throughout the season for the collegiate athletes as well. Oblique said in his interview that he had a terrible start in the final of the 100 meters. Imagine how he would have done if he got it right. Yeah, I think everybody saw that he got a bad start, for sure. And I think the expectation overall track is, I don't know about many, but I don't know if you've watched the preview videos, heading into um the world championships. But the thought process was that both him and Kishane were going 9.7 hour faster, right? So there's no surprise there in terms of the performances at all from an oblique civil perspective. I don't think Kishane ran his best race, but that is how, the cookie crumbled at the end of the day. You have to turn up, you have to execute, and the man that executes the best race wins. And that was Oblique Seville, right? So you can't take anything from anybody, you know what I mean, when it comes to competing at this level, right? Everybody has their own lane and they just have to run. You know what I mean? And another thing as well that I want to highlight, because I see a lot of people are a bit confused when it comes to me, and my takes when it comes to Oblique Seville. I started off 2025 talking about Oblique Seville and telling the world that Oblique Seville is the one to watch for 2025, even before he ran his first race. Before he ran his first race, I said Oblique Seville is the man to watch. And I said, guess what, Jamaica? Guess what, Kishane? You're the Olympic silver medalist, and I know you're out for gold, but keep your eyes on Oblique Seville. Every step of the way, the whole season, I've been saying, keep your eye on Oblique Seville. It's so funny. No, he's literally the world champion. AI told me 8.15 meters. I know use AI for everything. Child. Hey T, what do you think about the Casey hurdler going to Texas Tech? Which Casey hurdler?
It was just a look in his eye. It was just when he was there. He looked at it. Similar to
Yeah,
Sean,
man, his top end is really, really good. That is why I have Oblique Seville for my anchor leg runner. But we know how that goes, track is. It's not gonna happen for the 4x1. So we just have to hope and pray for the best. I want to also, while I'm waiting a bit for the next track action to come up, let me give you a let's go back to the women's 400-meter hurdles from last evening, which was their morning session. So in heat one, Femke Ball qualified, looking really easy, looking really crisp. Liked it, 53.75 seconds. Again, four automatically qualified, and then the next four based on times. But Femke Ball head and shoulders above everybody else. She took it really, really easy. Just glided around the track like butter. Loved it. As a matter of fact, half of the time I was wondering if hurdles were there. Right. Next up, we had Anna Cockrell and Anjanette Knight come up in Heat 2, and two of the non-automatic qualifiers came from Heat 2 as well. Um, in this race, Anna Cockrell and Anjanette Knight were literally hurdling stride for stride. I actually liked it. I'm liking how Anjanette Knight turned up. She lost out in the final, maybe 20 meters of the race to Anna Cockrell. And I think that's because Anna Cockrell probably just said to herself, I refuse to lose to you. And y'all know they're training partners, right? She looked a bit more solid in that final. As I said, 20 of the race, but I still think it was a really strong effort by Anjanette Knight. Based on what I've seen from her, she will be able to successfully navigate to the finals. Question now becomes, the number of athletes that do look good and whether or not, we will be able to hold on to any kind of medal, hopes. But yeah, let me put a pause on that and go into the men's 110-meter hurdles, the men's first heat. Let's jump into that really quickly. So the German Marty is there in lane. Oh, and you know what? Something I realized, track is they're actually announcing everybody here. So typically, they only announce the seeded athletes for championships. So you will see the camera just brush over the other athletes, but they won't stop on them. But they'll literally only announce the seeded athletes in the heats. When they get to the semi now, that's when they start announcing everybody, right? Or introducing everybody. It's interesting that I've been watching at these championships whole time. They've been introducing everybody. Let's go back to my evening session. Okay, Heat 1, Morty from Germany, Cheng from China, Dylan Beard from USA, another Dos Santos from Brazil, Shasha Zoya from France, Izumiya from Japan, Jacob, or is it Jacob? Jacob from Poland, and then we have, or is it Jacob? Who knows how it's pronounced? And then we have John from South Africa. This is a really, really good heat. As a matter of fact, too good. The men's 110-meter hurdles. I don't know how the medal them are going to go. Pray for Jamaica. That's all I say. Pray that we do as well as we can. Set. and they're off. The Brazilian got a ridiculously good start. That almost looks like a pick. But anyway, the Brazilian is leading. Here comes Dylan Beard. No, he's taking the lead. He's going away for the win here. Sasha Zoya looks all right. So the Chinese athlete was second, but I didn't realize when they were introducing the athletes that Sasha Zoya has this big bandage around his foot. He's hurt. He is hurt. He's in pain. That was tough to watch. And you know, it's interesting because he's one of those athletes that were also competing at the Grand Slam Track League. When did he pick up this injury? Was it at Grand Slam as well? Crazy. Okay, World Athletics pop down. Okay, it's back. This was tough. This was tough for Sasha Zoya for sure. But anyway, taking the win was wait, let me go to the full results. No, I have to go to the live. Sorry. Let's go to live. And then da 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 dum, da 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 dum. Okay, full live results. Sasha Zoya's foot is heavily bandaged. Heavily. World Athletics makes this page the most annoying thing to go through. But anyway, so taking the win was Dylan Beard, and he ran 13.28 seconds. Chen from China was second, 13.39. Sasha Zoya was third from France, 13.43. And Santos from Brazil was fourth, 13.52. Four automatically qualify, and then they take the next four based on times. Can I see the long jump from here? That's up next. I think I need to open a bunch of pages so that I can have everything in its own individual page looking at. Because reloading everything at a time. All right, let me just go into the long jump so that I can see what's happened new. Okay. All right. So Nikolai's on the board now, and he's jumped a 7.89 meters. He's put himself up into fifth position in Pool A, and I think the sixth position makes him sixth overall based on the combined pooling. So let me go. Did somebody jump further than Oh, a number of athletes have now overtaken Tajay in Pool B. So Tajay, who was in Pool B and was leading Pool B at one point, is now in third place in Pool B. Leading is Leske from Spain, and he jumped at 8.21 meters, automatically qualifying. And Yoho Shi from China also has jumped 8.08. Um, so he's leading Tajay as well. Remember, Tajay's furthest jump was 8.07. And he's already completed his second attempt. So he only has one attempt left, right? But as things stand right now, he's in a qualification position. Let's go back and look at what happened with Kerry McLeod. Kerry. Okay, Kerry has not taken his second attempt just yet. Okay, so we're updated with the men's long jump. Is there any other live event that I need to be focusing on? Pole vault, hammer. Okay, let's jump into the second heat for the men's 110-meter hurdles. All right, so in this one, we have Willem Berlosian from France. From Belgium, we have Abasouyi. From USA, we have Jacoby Tharp. Really breaking through after winning that NCAA Division One Track and Field Championships, winning, I believe, at the USA Track and Field Championships, interestingly enough. And then in fifth In the fifth lane is from Senegal, Mendy. In lane six, we have Barnard from South Africa. In lane seven, we have Damien from Poland. In lane eight, we have Tade from Great Britain. And in lane nine, we have Jason Joseph from Switzerland. All right, let's double check these comments and see what's good. Guys, I see 486 people here. Please remember to hit the like button. You was heavy on you was heavy on Kishane. You never saw it for Oblique. Look here, Johnny. Don't come over here and make up stuff. I don't like these things. Don't do that. All my videos are on my channel. Don't play with me. I think his name is Daniel Wright. Yeah, he said his coach told him immediately that he got it wrong. Um, I knew Seville was gonna win. I think we all knew he was fast, but execution would be a challenge for him. I don't necessarily think I had an issue with him, executing because he runs well. I think it's just him managing the pressure of the moment, and he did that this time, and I'm happy, and he won. Um, the race is off. Jacoby Thorpe is leading. Belosian is running well. Okay, no, Jacoby Thorpe is falling back. Belosian is in the lead. Here comes okay, so Belosian wins. Jacoby Thorpe second, and I think the Swiss athlete was third. I'll confirm the times. It's so funny. I have talked more about Oblique Seville in 2025 than I've talked about Kishin. I don't have the nerves to come over here and tell me say I was never heavy on Oblique Seville. You see, not because you're not watching doesn't mean I'm not saying it. Gatlin and Green from Ready Set Go didn't pick Oblique Seville at all. Even Tyson Gay was on their podcast and he said he didn't see it. Them never go see it. Look here. If you check majority of the American podcasters, they will find every reason to not pick a Jamaican unless they're forced to. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, as I said, everybody should rep their own country. You know what I mean? So of course you want your athletes to compete well and compete strong, which is why I always tell you all I have my wants and I tell you all what my want is, but I tell you also what the stats are telling me. You know what I mean? So let's use um let's use Tina as an example. And it's not necessarily a want because if you were looking at Tina, you would have seen it, right? I put Tina in bronze for the women's 100 meters, yeah? But whole time I was hinting at the silver and I was telling y'all, just look at her. She looks like she's going to upset. She's going to ask Julian some questions. You understand? So again, when you really look at it and take into consideration, what's been happening in 2025, every American has been going back to the same thing that Oblique Seville has gone to championships over and over and over and over again and has failed. And it's so funny because I went out of my way to do another Oblique Seville video, one of many in 2025, and I highlighted how when Oblique Seville just came on the scene in 2021, which he pointed out, last night as well. He started his career at the Olympics, fresh out of high school, not even sub 10. And there was this whole enormous weight of Jamaican pressure on his little shoulders. One little skinny Oblique Seville. When you literally go back and look at him, underdeveloped to the max. It took a minute for him to get to this stage where his body is now able to, in my opinion, manage his speed. Yes, I do believe his issues over the years have been twofold, where it's not just a physical thing where he was just picking up injuries, but him picking up those injuries were also affecting him from a mental perspective as well, right? But I said, guess what? In 2025, you could see the effort from Oblique Seville to resolve those issues. Competing at Grand Slam and all of those events, you saw him literally running from the back. You literally saw him running from the back. That was him working on his finishing of the race. And guess what? Nobody saw it. Only the Jamaican them see it. Nobody else never see it. Nobody else. Maybe Otto Bolden. Because Otto Bolden is probably the only person I heard outside of, the Jamaicans, obviously, calling Oblique Seville, as one of those athletes that will finish 1-2. Whether or not you had Kishane as the winner or Oblique as the winner, only Jamaicans I heard calling Jamaica 1-2. I don't hear nobody else call no Jamaican 1-2. And if you were watching, you would have seen Jamaica 1-2. Me, I see some people put Kishane in a third.
They've said that as well. They said the 12:20 is the new 12:30. There's lots of athletes peppering that. There's never chance.
To Brad Bardbell, yeah, Broadbell. I cry for Broadbell every time I think about the men's 110-meter hurdles, but his time hasn't come yet. We just have to wait and yeah, we'll just keep the faith. Thanks for the 4.99 super chat. I appreciate it. Carl was asking you about Daniel Clark, the 110-meter hurdle from KC going to Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a good school for hurdlers, even though Bashan ended up transferring, and I'm not sure why. He was seemingly picking up a lot of injuries. So I'm not sure if it has anything to do with their program, but he switched from Texas Tech to Arkansas. But even with him switching to Arkansas, he still picked up injuries. I don't even think he where did he pick up his last injury and was out? I'm trying to remember his last race. That's Vashawn. But anyway, long story short, they have a good program. Sasha Zoya is grimacing. Yes, I saw it. They delusionality. You've been calling it all season. All season. Go back to the beginning of 2025. One of the first videos I did was on Oblique Seville. Y'all are too unfair.
Right, Abaka Qatar goes in three. Gus Quimate broke 13 seconds for the first time in his career to win the French title. Lorenzo Simonelli goes in main five for Italy, 13:05, national record last year to win the European Championships. Eddie Bacardi of Belgium completed his shift from being a decathlete to being a full-time hurdler.
Sometimes in the comment section, I've noticed some people just want to be contrary just because. I watched 99% of your videos, so I know what you said. Thank you, Anil. I appreciate it. You're lagging behind, T. I'm lagging now. I'm still not over last night. I'm still excited. I'm still happy. I think this is our real strong hope in the men's 110-meter hurdles, and that is because he always turns up at championships, right? So I'm hoping that this will be the case here as well for him. So let's dive into the next heat for the men's 110-meter hurdles, where we have what's going on? World Athletics is down again? No, 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 no. I need to see the page. Okay, it's working. All right. So sorry about that, guys. Where we have our London Bennett, competing here. So let's see. As I said again, he doesn't look awesome in the season, but he will turn up at championships and run. And he's been running better than any other season, though he doesn't look the best. You know what I mean? So let's see. Not the best start. He's in it. The Italian is there. Okay. Orlando takes the win. Okay, good qualification. 13.2120. He hits the final hurdle. So 13.20 for Orlando Bennett, but he hit the final hurdle, so he has to make sure that he's a bit more crisp when it comes to competing. I think last year at the Olympic Games, he ran his personal best in the finals, right? 13.08, right? So again, if you go back through how he competes season by season, he typically is a guy that stays in the maybe 13.4s ish, 13.3s ish realm. You know what I mean? But even when you look at that, 2025 has been the best of how those sequences look. So, in my opinion, again, though nothing really tells you that he's going to come into 2025 and run really well at the championships, given his history, I'm saying he's in for a new personal best at these games. And I'm saying that if he does compete as well as I think he can possibly surprise. I didn't put him down for a medal, but I put him down as an outside shot. So Matthew Quay was second, 13 points to 5, and Simonelli was third, 13.25 as well, and Nomoto was fourth. Yeah, Broadbell got injured at trials. Broadbell has been having a tough last few years, I have to say. Tough last few years. It's so funny because even when you go back to Racers Grand Prix, when Kishane and Oblique were supposed to compete against each other, and going in and I did my preview video and I said, Kishane, keep your eyes on Oblique Seville. He's gonna be coming at you. You know what I mean? And I told y'all after in my review that I watched a little snippet of him and I said, guess what? He's not going to be firing at his start. So he's probably not going to be able to win this particular race, but still, he's not, one to underestimate ever. And once he puts it together, he's going to be absolutely deadly. So when I know where all of them video, if they're lost on y'all somehow, every single Kishane video I did, all I did was talk about Oblique Seville. And so, what if they were talking about Kishane? Everybody has their own choices. No, it's not about just talking about Kishane. He's trying to say that nobody was talking about, well, not nobody. I wasn't talking about Oblique Seville. I'm like, what? Thank you for the 49.99 super chat. Primrose Walker. I appreciate it. Primrose? Is this the same Primrose I know? I feel like this is the Primrose I know. Yeah, this is the Primrose I know. Thank you. I think I know this person. I think I know this person. Um, don't let them kill the energy with the negative comments and lies. I swear, it's so funny when I watched and I saw the comments yesterday about what I said about Oblique Civil in the heat. Me person to myself say, I wouldn't people again I'm thinking from. No, sir. Yeah, Orlando Bennett won. Am I behind? Is my feed behind? It feels like it's behind. This Jamaican had MJW, Juju, and the Jamaican third, but I got a pleasant surprise by Jamaica. Okay. Um, Orlando looks. I have great hopes. Yeah, man, I have good hopes for Orlando. No, it's not the Primrose I know. Okay. That's all right. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Rashawn has drawn lane 2. Dang, his semis. I'm gonna go back into the semi after this. Well, it's about with Talawa. All right, guys. So let's go into the men's long jump again. Long jump again. Let's see what's happening there. Kerry should have taken his second attempt by now, right? So Tentago is still leading for Pool A. Oh, I don't see any Jamaicans again. What's going on? Nikolai and Kerry are literally right beside each other in 8th and 9th with 7.89 and 7.86 meters, which means that they're not in top 12. Are they? Let me see the furthest jump in Group B. 8, 8, 7. No, they're probably. No, they're not in top 12 because this is 4, right? 4 plus 8 is what? 12, right? So they're literally just outside top 12. They're literally just outside top 12. So guess what? Kerry and Nikolai have to get it done on their final jump, or they'll not progress to the finals. Tajay Gale has moved himself back into leading position and is on his third and final attempt, jumping a 8.28 meters. Now I have Jamaica down for silver, but I actually put Kerry in for that silver, not Tajay. But guess what? Anybody gives it to us, I'm happy because our jumpers are really good. I was just trying to figure out which one is going to be the best this year. It looks like Tajay is going to be the one that's going to be the best this year. So Tajay 8.28, he's leading his pool. So things are looking good for us over the long jump from a Tajay perspective. But still living a bit dangerously when it comes to Nikolai and Kiri. Okay, back into the hurdles now. That's the 110-meter hurdles. I think World Athletics keeps crashing or something. All right. Heat 4 has Enrique Lopez from Spain. Um, is this Niger? They finally changed it. So, I don't know if people know, but a few years ago, they had the same abbreviation for Niger. Niger and Nigeria. But it seems as though they changed the abbreviation now. So guess what? There's no confusion. I mean, the flag is completely different, but the abbreviation was the same. All right. So Niger is in lane 2, Netherlands is in lane 3, Brazil lane 4, USA lane 5 with Cordell Tinch. Going down to Demario Prince that is in lane, I believe, 7. Right, the race is off. Let's see what happens here. So we have the young Demario Prince, 20 years old, at the biggest stage in his life. Whoa. And they're off. Oh, bad start. Bad first hurdle. All right. Cardell Tinch is there. Demario Prince is still in it, even though the hurdle was bad. Okay. The athlete from Spain is there. Okay. They take 4, so Jamaica is in it. Great. But Demario is gonna have to clean up. But that's the thing with Demario. He isn't the cleanest hurdler. But you know what? It's so funny because he will either execute really good in the first few rounds and then have his worst execution in a final, or like we saw at the Jamaican Championships, run, not the best necessarily technically executed races through the rounds, but turn up in the finals and do some damage, right? So guess what? Here he doesn't execute the best technical race. So I'm like, okay, guess what? You got your bad race out. We are in for a good, once he progresses to the finals. And I believe he can progress there, but it's gonna be tough, not gonna be easy. But if he does progress to the finals, he will definitely be able to, I think, navigate well because he has got his bad race out. Let's put it that way. But it's still pretty fast. 13.31. So still strong running. And that was just for fourth. So imagine. That's crazy. So let's go into the results for the men's 110-meter hurdles. And I don't know why this page keeps going down. But winning was Lopez from Spain, 13.22. Zhu from China, 13.28. Cornell Tinch from America, 13.31. The same time as Demario Prince, only separated down to the thousandths of a second. So it was that close. Where was my last comment? Um, all right, I'm gonna have to go back into the 400-meter hurdles. He semifinals in a bit, but soon get there. Rashawn Clark qualified as a non-automatic qualifier, so it's gonna be tough for the semifinals. Asini Wilson did not progress. Malik James King automatically qualified. Um, yeah, congrats to the two Jamaican sprinters that won the medals. Didn't Tajay switch? No, Tajay didn't switch. That's Wayne. Wayne Pinnock switched.
Gale using absolutely every inch of the runway here. He's in a good position so far when they're
Tia Galangud, really? I appreciate it. It's all thanks to you guys. You guys turn up and show out for TXC track time during this championships. Actually, I didn't expect to see that many, people, on these streams, actually, because the streams in general have been doing well. So I really do appreciate it. Yeah, it's been popping off at TXC track time, but yeah, it's all thanks to you guys.
such a lovely
Um,
in Budapest. Didn't make the final.
the American woman beat the Jamaican woman at everything. We don't hate you. Do you know which countries women has the most medals? In the 100 meters? Woo!
The 15 line there. I was going to start talking about Liam Adcock, the Australian, just underneath 8 metres. That's what it's taking to get into the top 12 of the
All
world.
right, what happened with Nikolai? Did he jump his best jump? No, let's see what happened.
He has to worry about that. This competition's really come to life here.
Yeah, man, Nikolai looks like he got that automatic cue. 8.15 on the nose. That is it. That is it, Nikolai. Yes. Get it done. Yes. All right. Next up is Carrie. Come, Carrie.
Pure relation. Not on the same spectrum as him in terms of producing good jumps, just looking the other way, saying,
All right.
I'm happy for you. I wish it was me. Final heat of the men's 10 metre hurdles.
Gail got a great jump. Yeah, he did.
Not sure Tyler
All right. So let's get into this next heat for the men's
this year to make
110-meter hurdles. Tyler Mason, he in lane one, from Jamaica.
of China takes stage 3.
Then we have Diesel.
Crowd.
Listen, Enzo Diesel,
Of India lined up in lane 4. The
I
Indian
think.
national record holder.
That's how his name is pronounced. In lane two. Then we have Zhu Lu in lane three. Then we have
Holloway, the defending
Tershas Shirish in lane four. Then we have in lane five Antonio Alcana. Then in lane six, Grant Holloway. He's the defending world champion. He's also American. Then we have in lane seven Rashid Muratake. Then in lane eight, we have and Rashid Muratake, hometown advantage. Also the fastest Japanese this season, sub 13 seconds. One of only three that are sub 13 this season. Then we have Jumo, and then we have what's this name? Jareem. I'm not gonna try to butcher his last name. So yeah,
in the last couple of months. He got the job done as well. Grant Holloway. It all started going well in the
Grant
first.
Holloway hasn't been having the strongest season. So let's see how he looks in this round. I saw a training video of himself with Grace Stark. It wasn't giving me fire. You know what I mean? I even know Grant at his best. It gives you can feel the speed through the screen. You know what I mean? It wasn't giving me that, but let's see. Set. All right. So they're off. Grant actually gets a good start. Ooh. All right. Good going, Grant.
Than anyone else.
Grant has turned up. Let's see if Rashid Murataka can hunt him down. Okay, he's losing ground. Okay, we have the Jamaican on the inside. I wasn't even seeing him taking the win. Okay, Tyler. Let's go, Tyler. 13.17. Yes, Tyler, do your thing. Muratake, second, 13.22. Lou third, 13.23. Where is Grant? All right, so I did say in my preview that I don't have Grant, medaling, right? But yeah, he's not looking really good. His start is still there, but his final phase is even worse, and I guess that's because of injury setbacks this season. He's not looking like he's gonna be able to defend this year, unless the sky opens up and says, "Listen, all other lanes just drop through the earth." Good going, Tyler. Good going. And that's actually a season's best for Tyler as well. 13.17. Listen, Tyler last year went into the national championships for Jamaica, one of the heavy favorites, and didn't make the team. This year he makes his first. Is it the first time he's making a senior team? I think so. And guess what? He is making use of everything, right? He's here and he's ready to compete and compete strongly. I like that. I like that. He looks good. Really, really looks good and he's ready to go. I graduated from the University of Arkansas. It's important. Are you talking about the hurdles? Guys, you can never really tell, you can never really tell which athlete is going to come through. Sometimes you have some really good athletes that go into some really good programs and nothing happens. And vice versa. You have some athletes that you didn't even see and they come through and do ridiculous things. So we have to wait and see. I can't rate how he's going to perform before he even performs. I know he's one of our best junior hurdlers, if that's what you're asking, but what he will do at college, I don't know. Because guess what? Vashawn going into college was one of our best, and I'm still waiting to see Vashawn really stand out and stand, big against everybody that he's competing against, and we haven't seen it yet. And I'm looking at the young, Prince coming through even before Vashawn. And Vashawn, from a hurdling perspective, I would have thought would have come through before Prince. You know what I mean? So again, you can't really tell. All right, let's go back into the men's long jump and see what happened. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that no, Kerry looks like Jeez, Kerry's out. His final jump was 5.74 meters. Kerry has not advanced, unfortunately. So we have two athletes that have progressed. So in Pool A, Nikolai was second in Pool A, right? Jumping automatically qualifying, that is 8.15 meters, as well as Miltadis Tentaglu automatically qualifying 8.17 meters. And then you jump over into Pool B, where Tajay Gill automatically qualifies as the leader of that group, 8.28 meters, with the Spanish athlete Les K automatically qualifying as well, 8.21 meters. Now that puts Nikolai into fourth based on positioning here. Overall, I believe a few more athletes have a few more attempts before they wrap up Pool B. Let me see if Pool A is wrapped up. No, Pool A still has a few more athletes to attempt as well. So, with that being said, we still keep our fingers. Well, no, our two Jamaicans are automatically qualified. So, it done and dusted. They're through to the finals, no problems. The only athlete that didn't qualify and has also gone through all three of their attempts is Kerry McLeod. So, Kerry McLeod still not getting his moment. I definitely thought that, since he's been coming on since 2023, he was fourth in 2023, he'll be looking to upgrade himself, but not his day today. T, what have I missed? So far, from a 400-meter hurdles perspective, we have Rashawn Clark, was living on the bubble dangerously a little bit, but he qualified as the fourth non-automatic qualifier to the semifinals in the men's 400-meter hurdles. Asini Wilson did not progress. Malik James King automatically qualified. From a long jump perspective, we had three participants. That is, only two qualified to the finals, and they qualified automatically. So congratulations to them. That is Nikolai Williams and Tajay Gale. I talked about Nikolai's consistency this season. So among the Jamaicans, he's not the furthest jumper, but he's the most consistent in my opinion. And guess what? He jumps and makes it into the finals. And then unfortunately, Kieran McLeod does not jump far enough to qualify to the finals. Men's 110-meter hurdles. So we also have three representatives there. Tyler Mason takes the win in his race. Orlando Bennett also takes the win in his race. And then the next Jamaican actually comes up. No, he actually ran. Demario Prince. So Demario Prince was, well, how much was he? He was fourth in his heat, but still automatically qualifying. So all three Jamaicans progress to the semifinal for the men's 110-meter hurdles. I suppose the biggest, thing coming out of the hurdles is that Grant, it looks as though it's that done deal that he probably won't medal and he will probably struggle to even make the finals. And also seeing Sasha Joya injured as badly as he is also poses a challenge for himself as well, to even make it into the finals. But let us see how that goes. I hope I covered everything. As Yeah, I think I got everything. Um, Grant made. Did I check on Grant? I never did check out where Grant done. As a matter of fact, me a chat about did Grant make it. Oh, how Grant did done? Grant Holloway. Okay, no, he finished in the fourth and final position. I'm delayed. Is my race that's delayed or is it me that's being delayed? Oh, which internet am I on? Well, I'm on the Starlink, so let me refresh it anyway. Perfect time to refresh it because the semifinals for the hurdles is coming up, and when I play them the games day, I refreshed it, but it looks like it brought me back to where I was coming from, so don't really see any change. What do I do with my flag? Oh, it's behind me. Yeah, we're looking good in the hurdles. Yep, we are looking good in the hurdles. Yep, Mason looks really good. Um, Other than the technical, a few little technical glitches from Orlando Bennett, he looks good as well. And the Mario Prince got his one bad race out, I believe, and he'll be, more focused and ready to execute in the, latter rounds. Am I fighting with somebody in the comments? How dare me, Jamaican? Huh? What happened? How dare you, Jamaicans? You train in America and lie about us. All right, what lie did we tell on you? Oh my gosh. College burns out most athletes, not just Jamaicans. Yeah, it's not just a Jamaican thing, and it's not just to one program from one school as well. So you may look at one program and it looks good this year, and next time it's something different. So you know, I think it comes down to the athlete. And I think I was watching an interview recently with Otto Bolden, and he said that somebody asked him, "What's the best advice you can give to collegiate athletes?" And he said, "Be honest about what you're feeling." And I thought that was an interesting take. So he said, listen, if your body is telling you that you're hurt, I know you're in college, you're probably on a scholarship, and you're probably saying, hey, I got to do this, but you have to tell your coach if you're hurt because you know what? If things get worse, progressively worse, and then your career in track and field ends, you turn around and you blame the school. You know what I mean? So that's his thought process. I suppose a lot of times the issue is probably the athletes, themselves not wanting to say anything bad about what's happening, or not necessarily bad, but just highlight that there is something wrong. And let's go to Akira Nugent when Akira Nugent was at Baylor. And I have no problems with Baylor, you know what I mean? Because Baylor has, done well for athletes. Look at Demario Prince, right? So, a Baylor Demario Prince, yeah? Yeah, Baylor, right? So, I have no issues with it, but they had her running the 100 meters and the 100 meter hurdles, and it was like 20 minutes apart. And we're looking at it and we're like, okay, this is too much for her. But guess what Akira was saying in her interviews? No, I'm great. I can do it. I'm fine. Next thing we know, Akira knew then transfer to Arkansas. And then Akira do interview and say, I was being overworked. And I'm saying to myself, did you tell the school that you were being overworked? Semi-final time. Semi-final time. Here comes Akira. We're ready, girl. We are ready. She looks nervous, but so are we. We are nervous, girl. Just hold your head down. Well, no, hold your head down. Tunnel vision, straight ahead, execute. In heat one. Mako Fukubi from Japan, Sarah Lavin from Ireland, Grace Stark from USA, Detaji Kambunji from Switzerland, Giada Ooh, the race start. Child, I don't want to see the screen here. Let me move this down a bit. Okay, let's go. So Akira Nugent is in lane 7. So keep your eyes on Grace Star. Keep your eyes on Detaji Kambunji. Keep your eyes on, I guess, suppose Sarah Lavin. Let's see how this goes. I have question marks for Grace Stark. I hope she answers me in the semi. Lord God, my girl, a false start. Well, she's out. Yeah. There's no blind for that. I mean, they've given a couple blinds, which honestly, track is. I see some people online mad about it, but I like when starters use discretion, and I think going forward, more starters need to approach it how the Japanese approached it. If it's that close and that tight, where sometimes you can't even see if I want a fast start with you, give them a warning or just give them a green card and keep it pushing. You know what I mean? But when it's obvious, then they're like, all right, bye. Even the Tajik Bunji too fat. Look like she was out before the time. She look at this a girl that falls start bigger than she. So disqualification for Harala. Yeah. And I don't see anybody saying anything about the Taji, so I suppose she's fine. But yeah, as I said, when it's too close to call, it's okay. This be discretionary. My God. Especially, sometimes I'm watching champs and I see some DQs and me, I look at me and say, I hope Jamaica is watching this and realize that, the starters do have power, which they know, so they have power. So I don't know why them go and let them not have discretion. All right, here we go. Come, Akira, baby. We're ready, girl. I got you for gold, so do some big things here. Although Danielle Williams looks like she's ready to defend her title. Set. All right, they're off. Good start from Grace Stark and Akira Nugent. Okay, Grace Stark is going well. So is Ditaji Kampunji. Akira is down a bit. Oh my God, she hits a hurdle. She hits another hurdle. She's third. Jesus Christ, no. $12.37 for Grace Stark. 12.44 for Ditaji Kambunji. Listen, Trackies, they take two and only two based on times. This is not the race where you want to be third in. 12.6. Me not think 12.63 is going to be fast enough. Me not think 12.63 is going to be fast enough. Boy, Akira, what is happening here? All right. Who in a heat two? Who in a semi-final two? Amoy Brown, Toby Amerson, Nasdeen Visser. So he trail two alone have Toby Amerson, Nadine Visser, Alicia Johnson. Women know go run faster than 12.6. Unless they roll over and drop. And I'm not wishing that on anybody. Amoy Brown is in the race, looking like she's ready to run a PB. And if she gets there, she's going to be faster than that time potentially. Then you have to take into consideration, though Pia hasn't necessarily been having the strongest season, she's also an athlete that can run faster and has run faster this season. Remember looking at semi-final three. Jesus Christ. Daniel Williams, Masai Russell. All right. Keep your eyes on semi-final number 2 when it comes to non-automatic qualifiers. And let's just hope that the times aren't fast, which is ridiculous because this is the hurdles. What kind of hope is that?
Chang into the circle here, the 18-year-old. Still here in the first round of the women's hammer. That's though also with the Canadian Olympic champion Cameron Rogers. Chang 2 here. That's a big throw from the Chinese athlete. Just losing it there in the graphics somewhat. That's over. The marks there is still
My races are delayed. I refreshed it, guys. I'm hoping I'm back on
the 18-year-old.
On par at least.
Yeah, in the first round. 76-22.
Oh God, Akira. Lord of God, Akira. Anyway, outside Akira, Grace Stark looks much better. Much better. I still don't think she looks as good as what we saw from the likes of Masai, the likes of Daniel, and the likes of Toby. But this is hurdles. We saw what just happened with Akira. You know how to go how you think it's gonna go. Boy, I mean, I don't know if it's there. I just saw.
We've seen Grace Stark float down the track with a 12:37, followed by Kambunji. What do we get from the world record holder here, Toby Amazon, or Nadine Visser, outsider? Fascinating semi-final. This 6 women so far this season have run 12:30 or quicker. 4 Americans.
T, you always say that if Akira isn't cleaner over the hurdles, it's not going to happen. Something my sister said to me. If you look at all of the hurdlers that Akira came through the collegiate system with, is that every single solitary one of them have gotten much better technically, but Akira Nugent. Akira is the only one that hasn't gotten better technically. Like if you look at how she's hurdling technically, she hasn't improved. Grace Stark looks much better. Let's not even talk about Masai. Masai is now the Olympic champion, and look how smooth she hurdles. Akira is the only one that hasn't improved technically. She has to up her game. She has to go back to the drawing board after 2025. She has to, because she has the talent. Akira is running majority of talent, you know. She needs to go back to the drawing board after 2025 and grind and work on the little things. Technically improve her craft. But anyway, heat semi-final number 2. Me don't know what else we said. Semi-final number 2. We have Nakijama from Japan, Amoy Brown from Jamaica, Toby Amerson from Nigeria, Nadine Visser from the Netherlands, Pia from Poland, Alicia from USA, Elena from Italy, and what is Keskitalo from Finland? We were keeping our eyes on 12.63 seconds.
How will she cope arriving here as one of the favourites? Sokowska, Poland, the former European champion in six. Johnson, the Pan American medalist for America in seven. Carraro, Italy in eight. Spitalo, the World Student Games champion on the paddle side in nine. All the action for sure.
Let me reset my emotions for Amoy. She deserves it. Come, Amoy. We're ready, girl. Come, girl. Do your best. All right. She's slow out of the box for Amoy, but come, Toby Amazon is coming through. Nadine Visser is also running. Pia is also running strong. Alicia is there trailing behind a bit, but this looks like it's gonna be Jesus. All of them, therefore, they look faster than all of those four. All of those four look faster than all of those four look faster than 12.63. You're right.
Anything less, I suppose, but that was a much better race from Swiatkowska that I thought we would see, and she has knocked out Nugent from the first semi-final as well. So she, well, no, not knocked out. I think there's two left there. So there's Nugent and Swiatkowska.
All right, Alicia Johnson is out. Akira have one lifeline left. Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness, my heart is racing.
Look here, Akira. You see if you make it through to the finals, yeah? You see if you make it through to the finals, yeah? Look here, girl. Go back to the drawing board and work on the craft. You have to. Talent is not everything. It's not just about talent. Why we know so you're ridiculously talented. You have to fix the little things. I'm going to say what Amoy run. Amoy ran 12.93. So not good enough. She was sixth in the race.
I ran that in my semi-final and I was pushing hard. Wow, it's amazing.
Let's go to the semi-final number 3 again and look who is in the race again. So Daniel Williams, Marcel Russell, I think obviously are going to be well clear of that 12.6 time, right? Or at least they will be automatically qualified. Let's put it that way. So to focus on the non-automatic qualifiers coming out of this race, possibly looking at the likes of Marion Forey from South Africa, plus also Devin Charlton as well from the Bahamas. Potentially those are the athletes to keep your eyes on for time placings. And yes, all these athletes can run faster than 12.63.
Talented young, well, I don't even know if he's young anymore. How old is he now? But goodness, it's incredible to see him doing so well. He got a bronze medal at the last World Championships, and to see him still flying high a couple of years later. He had some trouble, I think, last year going into Paris, but
It's okay, she qualified. I want to talk about which race do now watch.
oh, so good to see. I'm so happy for him.
He's still in his prime at 28. That's what he'll be telling
He
himself
is in his
anyway.
prime, that's right.
I don't know what to say.
Collet, what a championship he's having. Oh, brilliant! I tell you what, the sparks are starting to head towards the fire as far as this final is concerned. Kendricks, by the way, has passed at his second attempt at
Akira hit enough hurdle. This is the hurdles. The goal is to not hit any hurdles.
Marshall has joined in.
So you can't say she didn't run fast because she hit hurdles. That is the problem. The problem is that she is hitting these hurdles at Akira Nugent's level. She shouldn't be hitting all them hurdles. If you want to be world and Olympic champion, you have to be technically perfect. Look at Toby. Look at Masai. Look at even Grace Stark. Look at all of these athletes. They're hurdling clean. You can't be seriously as a Jamaican wanting Akira to beat all these people when she's not hurdling clean. Like be real, Jamaicans. Be real.
That is impossible. Hang on, hang on. Hang on a minute. That was like a circus act. That was ridiculous. How did Menno Bloom bend that enormous frame around that bar?
I don't think he knows. Menno Bloom, there's something that happens to Menno Bloom at 590. He loses his head, and you don't know how he does it. There's a barrel roll.
The false start maybe messed her up.
And it does. Anything goes at the World Championship.
I'm not denying that could be a thing, track is. That false start affected everybody in the race. You still have to execute.
And yeah, Belgium goes in lane 2. Made the NCAA final this season, but then fell.
Oh, you know what? with Masai and Daniel Williams or Daniel Williams in the same semi, it's gonna be interesting because y'all know I put the medals down to 4 people yesterday. Well, when did I do that preview video? I don't remember which day. I put it down to uh Akira that's living on the bubble, Daniel Williams, Masai, and Toby. Well, with how things are looking right now, Toby still looks as solid as ever. Even Grace Stark has looked much better than she did in her heat. You know what I mean? And now I'm curious to see if Daniel Williams can live with Masai. I think that will give us a good indication of whether or not she's won in for a new amazing personal best, probably even challenging Jamaica's national record. You know what I mean? I think those things are things we have to keep our eyes on for this particular race. I appreciate Daniel Williams looking as though she resolved her final 20 meters in the race. She gets a good start. She hurdles really strong, technically efficient. So the question now becomes whether or not it's as good as Masai. That's all. That's what it really comes down to. Is it as good as Masai? Set. All right, they're off. Good start by Masai. Good start by Daniel. Good start by Devin Charlton as well. Devin Charlton looks like she's leading. Here comes Daniel Williams. Here comes Masai. Masai, Daniel Williams. Okay. Akira is out. Akira is out. So, all right. Daniel can live with Masai. That's what I needed to see. That's what happened. All right, good. So 12:42 to 12:44. Masai qualifies automatically. Daniel Williams qualifies automatically. Devin Charlton 12:51 qualifies automatically. Akira Nugent is out. I'm going to say this again. It's time to take your craft seriously. You just have to. This is sport. This is sport. You have to. All these girls are efficient as ever over the hurdles. Absolutely efficient over the hurdles. If you're not as efficient, then how are you going to beat them? I'm hoping that this, for Akira failing to advance to the finals, is a wake up call. Is a wake up call for her to not just lay on I'm more talented than everybody else. It's time to fix those little things that need to be fixed.
That's incredible. 5 men are now on 590, and bear in mind, Kendricks has passed, and also Duplantis. So we could have a total of 7 men over 5.
Tapper would have done much worse than Akira. Do you see how Megan has been running? Please, don't stop it. Don't do that to Megan. Do not do that to Megan. If Megan didn't get injured, Megan would be here with all of the top girls. You know what? Running and competing as efficiently as possible. Clearing those hurdles, not hitting those hurdles. And remember, unlike most of those hurdles where you hear them say the hurdles are too short and the girls are just stepping over it, Megan is very short. So you know what that means? She had to make sure that she's technically clean. And if she's not clean, it means that there's no hurdling for her. Akira is so fast that she's not managing it between the hurdles. Again, she has to work on her craft. She has to work on her craft, trackies. It's simple. Akira has the potential to win it all. But not this way. Not this way. And if you think people are gonna come in at this level of hurdling, a hurdling competition and hit hurdles and win, y'all are crazy.
They're all here, and that would Cameron Rogers has just become the fourth ever athlete out over 80 meters. I think that's why there was a thumbs up to the occasion.
Akira, I think I use this as a wake up call. This have to be a wake up call for 2025. It have to be a wake up call. I remember Usain Bolt did an interview. And that is why I love when Usain Bolt remains as honest as possible. He didn't like it when he was a junior coming up, when people were saying these things to him. But now in hindsight, he looks back at it and he says, these things were actually a thing. So you remember that same interview that I spoke about with him on the Higher Performance channel? I hope some of you went back and watched it, right? And he spoke about, the struggles he had coming up and him thinking that he was working hard. And the coach looked at him and tell him, say, no, brother, you now work hard. The whole time him swear say him work hard, the coach looked at him and tell him, say, no, you're not working hard. And the moment he decided to work hard was the moment he started to get results. And he even went as far as to say in 2007, he swore up and down he was working as the hardest athlete. And the coach still whop him with that, you're not working as hard as you can. And you see him both say, for real? I'm still not working hard? I said, all right, here we are. Make me see what happened in 2008. And he made that change and he started working hard and he started doing what it was required of him in training. And what you see happen? Some of these athletes don't like when you say these things to them, and that is fine. If she wants to hear this snippet and be upset, okay. But I'm hoping that something resonates.
All making it through to the final. And that is going to be some race. That's going to be the final action on the track coming up at 20 past 10 local time. I will just run you through the qualifiers for the men's long jump final as well. Automatic marks for Tajay Gale, Lester Lesquet, Miltiadis Pentoglu and Nikolai Williams. In jumps from Hane Guerra, Tobias Monda, Bozida Salabayakov, she, Mattia Polani, a bit further down than you might expect. As was Simon Ahammer, but they got the job done. We did, however, lose the likes of Liam Adcock throughout that competition. The Australian has been having a great year. Kerry McLeod, who was fourth in Budapest, didn't make the final.
Not me vex Chuckies, me vex bad. Me not tell you no lie. Me vex I watch this talented athlete here not being able to stand atop each and every year. Akira is a national record holder. Stop the disrespect. And this is y'all's problem. This is a phone problem. If you can't look at Akira honestly and tell Akira if you work on her craft, you not help her as fans. You not help her as support. Somebody send me a video. Let me download it and play it. I'm glad I remembered. Let me download it and play it. Somebody sent me a video. I forgot about it. Let me download that video and play it. Oh, you download things again. All right, let's download. Boom. All right, downloaded. Now I need to share. Here, so. Oh, what is up on my feed? How long this person there? Oh, no person is. I mean, something there. Let's say, what is this? Remove from studio. I played you already. All right, let me add something else. So the 1500-meter semifinal is coming up. Share video file. All right. Let me play this video.
I am Oblique Seville and this is Dr. Hamilton, my mental coach, and thanks a lot because he has said that I am going to win, and thank you so much.
You are, who are you? You are
World champion.
world champion. I don't say. Yes, King, bless.
Josh Kerr races infrequently, travels in a
This is
few
Oblique Seville.
Niels Laros, the European under-23 champion at 8
The same Oblique Seville wanna convince me for the over the years and don't need no mental coach. That is him utilizing a mental coach. You know where Oblique Seville is now? This was before he won. He's now the world champion. Sometimes, trackies, our athletes need to hear the cold, hard truth. You tell your, just like how you have family members and they do stuff and you say, yo, don't do that. That's not right. It's not going to help you. It's not going to better you. Do you do this because you don't like them? Do you do this because you're disrespecting them? No, you do it because you love them and you want them to win. It's the same instance here. You do this because you love them and you want them to win. I'm doing this because I love Akira and I want Akira to win.
of Belgium, fourth in the European Championships last year, and reached the repechage round in the Olympics.
No, it's definitely not the end of her. It's definitely not the end of Akira.
Groups of the final, pretty straightforward but brutal. Top six coming back for one of the finals of the week. So what a lineup we have. Three men who've lifted the world title: Kerr, Whiteman, and the evergreen Timothy Cheriot. But there's a whole host of others.
This has nothing to do with big stage.
World Championship silver medalists.
This is not big stage alone.
Do you think it's fair that everyone is talking
Well, no,
about
no, officer.
Laros
I
being
mean,
the
I want to say
absolute
now,
weakness?
not all for the big
Last
stage
week
because
was
there's that aspect of it as well. But I don't think that's the only reason.
was 12.5, which just about nobody can live with, even an Ingham Ritson at full strength, which he isn't, which is why he hasn't made the semis.
I think it is totally fair that Niels Laros has been billed as a favourite. His season has been so deliberate. Every race has been selected.
No, you can't. No, you have to give her some tough love. A time for tough love, you know. It's time for tough love, you know. This is sport. If you want to be the best of the best in the world, you have to grind as hard as possible, or you will never get there.
Navigated many rounds. He's been on the podium at 2 Olympic Games and won a World Championships. He's got that gold in there as the defending champion. 60 seconds through the first lap, though. That's not quick. And we always say when you get to championship 1500 metre running, a group event like this, they all think they've got the best kit.
Well, I'll tell you what, this year has been utterly golden. Is the only way you can describe it. 14 men have run inside 3:30 this year. To put that in context, 10 years ago, across the whole season, only 6 did it. It's absolutely incredible. Cheriot's in third.
Oh,
5
my headset is right up onto the mic. Probably that is why. Sorry, let me just move this out of the way. But I can't really mute it because I need to hear. I need to hear exactly. Um, I need to hear exactly what's happening, so I can't really mute it. Nugent will be pro for 4 years by next World Championships. Nugent, no, don't say she will never win. Don't say she will never win. But she needs to work on her craft now. Ronnie says I'm waiting for Shakira to get her mental therapy coach. Noah has a sports psychologist. This is needed in pressurized sports as professionals. And when I talked about this originally, as I said about Oblique Seville, on a cost me dog rotten. Back in them early days of TXT track time, on a cost me dog rotten. Play the video again. You guys didn't hear it? Let me play it again.
I am Oblique Seville, and this is Dr. Hamilton, my mental coach. And thanks a lot because he has said that I am going to win. And thank you so much.
You are, who are you? You are
World champion.
world champion. I don't say. Yes, King, bless.
And I love that this is a Jamaican, mental coach, you know what I mean? So he's giving it to him in the raw, true Jamaican way. Man said, me say you're a world champion, and that me say. Oblique Civil was like all meek. This is my mental coach, and he says I'm going to win. The man said, no, what me say? You are world champion, and that me say. And Oblique is like, I'm the world champion. I love it. I absolutely love it. No, man. Yeah, man, Akira can get it right, trackies. Akira can get it right. Prediction for the finals, based on what I saw in the semi, Toby looks the best. Toby looks the best. Masai is, of course, is Olympic champion, so she's always going to be there. But again, Toby's a world record holder, so there's I guess a different level of speed there. Not just capability when it comes to winning championships, but just pound for pound, who is better, right? So I think that's what's going to be put in question for this women's 100-meter finals. Pound for pound, who is better, right? Who is faster? And Toby's is giving me that. I'm hoping that Daniel will still be in the conversation, but I have to admit that Grace Stark is also dangerously looking like she is returning to great shape. Right, she didn't look that way in the heat, but I suppose maybe she's using each round to run herself into better shape as well. So let's see. But I still have them slightly better than her. So if I'm supposed to be, a little biased, I'm gonna say I want Daniel Williams to finish in second place, but the stats are giving me Toby Masai and Daniel. Yeah, Broadwell is injured. He did a surgery. He's injured. He did a surgery. You didn't hear? You guys didn't hear what he said? Did nobody hear what Oblique Seville said? There's so many things that I pointed out about Oblique Seville over the years. Oblique Seville working on the final phase of his race. Ono cost me that right now as well. When I look into 2025 and see Oblique Seville fixing all of those things, and don't get me wrong, it's not perfect. But just looking at the effort to refine his craft, to take care of himself first and foremost, and do whatever is required for him to win is crazy. But 2 years ago, 3 years ago, a different story. When Rashid Broadbell just came onto the scene, I said, Rashid Broadbell looks like he can break the world record. But I'm going to need Rashid Broadbell to clean things up. Oh, no, cost me dog rotten again. I didn't say anything. I still had my takes. As the years progressed, I said Rashid needs to clean things up. He needs to fix his start. Do you know how delighted I was in 2025 to watch Rashid Broadbell fix his start? Hurdle technically clean. I mean, life happens. He went down with an injury at the national championships in warm up. I think he hit a hurdle, and it's so crazy. The hurdles is just probably one of the most unforgiving events. You know what I mean? In terms of how you can get injured and just come out of the entire, your entire season. But that being said, when you look at athletes being willing to at least listen to what the fans are saying a little bit. We're not coaches, clearly, so we don't know everything that's going on in the background, but we can see certain things, you know what I mean, what needs to be improved, at least at face value. And that doesn't mean it's going to be fixed overnight as well. And that's something that I always reiterate. It's not going to be fixed overnight. So it's the same thing with Kishane. When people are expecting Kishane's form to be fixed overnight, it's not going to be fixed overnight. Kishane just had 2 seasons in track and field so far, just two dege seasons. It never fix overnight. But you know what? As I'm watching them and I see, the effort being made, and that you listen to him speak as well, you know that the thought process is to refine the technique and refine the craft. No, don't think you're gonna go anywhere in sport without being refined. Unless everybody else is just crap and really, really poor, you have to make yourself better. I believe Akira is overthinking it in big competitions. I think that's part of it as well. That's a good point, Ronnie. So Ronnie says that that's how Americans feel, watching Shakiri waste her talent away. I don't think it's to the level of Shakiri, but I get it. I think when you live in a culture where clout is a thing, so sometimes it doesn't even matter what you do, as long as you're able to get clicks and views, you make money. Then sometimes talent it doesn't even matter, you know what I mean? And it doesn't even matter if you even continue in a sport. You just can, just willy-nilly, and people will still follow you, and people will still support you and love you and buy stuff, you know what I mean? And I think that's the struggle that Shakiri has, where she doesn't really have to do all these things to make money. You know what I mean? So she's gonna have to find that balance where, do I want to be the best athlete in the world, or do I just want to be a very rich Shakira Richardson? You know what I mean? And if she can find that balance, then yes, she should be able to come back and be good. Somebody says Akira looked very unsure and unprepared mentally, which is why you need these mental coaches. So he did take our advice, the internet coaches. Yeah, he listened at some point. Athletes are not generally willing to listen, off the rip. And that's why I keep bringing up Usain Bolt, because he's one of those athletes that were heavily judged. Don't get me wrong, he was very young. So, for the most part, people probably weren't as patient to watch him transition properly. But at the same time, a lot of things that the people were saying, it was true, right? And it's something that he hasn't said out of his mouth that it was true, but how he articulated what happened in the past is pretty much telling you that it was true, right? Because at some point he said that you also have to have people around you that are willing to hold you accountable. That's a thing. You don't want a yes man, a yes woman around you. And that's the thing I talk about with Jamaican athletes a lot of times. A lot of times, you don't only want people who are going to tell them yes, 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 and don't find a problem with nothing. But I mean, some people around know what are going to tough love. I'm sorry. I'm going to be that auntie for all these athletes. I think the only Jamaican athlete that I'm probably not older than is Shelley Fraser Price. Yeah, Sheldon Fraser Price on this team at least. Yeah, no, in general, yeah, Sheldon Fraser Price, right? That's currently competing. So I'll be the auntie that's gonna show tough love and say, hey, I spot this, fix this. Grace Stark is gonna spoil the party. She can. Akira and McLeod not advancing is wild. Is wild to me. I don't believe Carey still trains with. Carey doesn't train with the Arkansas group. So the Arkansas group, which they've now switched over to whichever what's that news that other college that the coach now trains at, right? I don't think he's part of that training group anymore. Oh, you heard? Okay. All I know is that we always underestimate Danielle and she finds a way. True. And she did an interview and I spoke about it leading in to her heat race where she said she's never the favorite. And I agreed and I said, yes, that's true. We never see her as the favorite, but she still comes in and does her big one. So I'm hoping that she'll be able to turn up and do her big one. Something else that I want to highlight now that it popped into my brain was, remember I was talking about Raymond Beckford and why I was concerned about him leading into the championships. That's our high jumper, the bronze medalist from the World Indoor Championships. And my thought process that he picked up an injury at the, was it knockout that just done or was it Panam? I swear it was Panam. I think it was Panam, not sure. Anyway, whichever one just finished, right? That championships. And I talked about seeing him looking like he picked up an injury. He confirmed yesterday that he did pick up an injury there. So I just want to highlight that. See, what do you think? You think about the view that MVP relies too much on the start? I think a race needs to be balanced. So I agree with it one part, but I have to say that I've witnessed in recent years where they're trying to adjust, but at the same time they're not trying to throw away their traditional start. And I think that's what Bruce was trying to express on stream, is that they're not going to be getting rid of that, start that MVP is known for. I don't necessarily think he was saying that we're not going to fix the end, you know what I mean? But he was saying they're figuring out how to merge the two things, right? When Elaine has gotten it right, it has worked, right? Um, we saw with Tina, right? In the finals, she got it right. Um, Tia so far hasn't gotten it right, but we know she has the potential to get it right, to merge the start and the end. Sharita Jackson, Sharita had a phenomenal start in the women's 100-meter finals, right? She finished behind, what was that, fourth? She finished fourth, right? But that's partly due to, Sharika Jackson just not being at full strength just yet, not necessarily full strength, full speed just yet when it comes to the women's 100 meters. So again, if you look at their present athletes, their present day athletes, it's working. But I also want to highlight that the present day athletes, the ones that you see it working for immediately, are also the athletes that have come through the junior system, which means that they have, previous years underneath their belt, successive, success with success, right? And I'm saying this to say is the transition for them is probably going to be a bit smoother when you're trying to, teach them something new versus somebody that came out of nowhere. So a Kishain that came out of nowhere that is, needs to be built from ground up. It's going to be harder. It's going to take longer. So we have to just exercise some patience when it comes to Kishain. But as I said, if you listen to him, they are aware of the problem and they're working on it. But it's not going to be fixed overnight.
This is it for me, boys. I'm retiring. He might not have done, but it does look that way now. Annalise, what a shock this is. This to keep his aspirations of a medal alive. He's been by far and away the outstanding vaulter outside Duplantis. Wow, living dangerously. He's made 6 meters.
Yeah, the 1500 meters is going on, guys. I haven't really been focusing on it, but since you want me to give you an update on the 15, I will. I'm just so distraught, honestly. So first semi that is finished. Lars from Netherlands won. Kerr from Great Britain was second. Jake Whiteman from Great Britain was third. Chariot was fourth. Is there anybody that? Well, then again, the 1500 is really good. So let me not see if there's anybody that got left out. People got left out for sure. So the top 6 are, as I said, Laros, Josh Kerr, Jake Whiteman, Timothy Chariot, Anjo, Koskoran, and Samuel Philistrom. We know that, Jakob didn't make it through from, the heat. So, yeah. Another chariot, this is Renault Chariot, took the win for Heat 2 or semifinal 2. Cole Hawker from the USA second. Adrian Ben from Spain third. Isaac Nadar from Portugal fourth. Jonah Koech from USA was fifth. And we have Neil Gorley from Great Britain that was sixth. So I think for the most part, all the expected persons qualified. I believe the pole vault is going into uncharted territory. More people than ever have cleared 5.90 meters. So it looks as though Mando Duplantis has finally succeeded in upping the level of the actual competitors, because his level being upped is one thing, but the competitors have to go along with it to make the competition interesting and exciting, and that's what's happening. So the Greek clears 6.00 meters, putting himself in first, but he's the first one to attempt it, I think. So let's go. Let's see how that goes. Sorry, guys, I got caught up in talking about, everything that was happening that I didn't even focus on the 15 that much. Apologies. Yeah, she looked extremely nervous. I did mention that. I did say she looks very nervous. But you always hear athletes speak that they're very nervous when they get to the line. I go back to 2021 and Elaine said that she was so nervous, and of course, one part, she's in the finals, she's very nervous, right? But she said how they did the introduction threw her off completely. So usually they go, lane by lane, with the introduction, and just something as simple as introducing her in the order that she didn't think she would be introduced threw her off completely. So she said when they just started to flip all about the track, it threw her off. And I'm like, if something like that can throw off athletes, it goes to show you that how hard it is to stand at this level and just remain in the zone and compete at your best. Why are you not covering the 15? Sorry, guys. Sorry. Plus, also, the comments are late. So I didn't even see you guys screaming at me, telling me, talk about the 15. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I heard that the MVP training template is still based on Asafa Powell. I don't necessarily think that is what Bruce said, but I guess you can gather that from it if that's what you think. But that's not what I gathered from what he said. So Mando clears 6 meters, so he goes back into the lead because he has no fouls. So yeah, remember it's all based on how you clear. So if you clear with no fouls, then great, you're in the lead. But then you fall significantly behind as much as you foul, even if you end up clearing the same this height. I hope Nugent has a good support staff behind her. I'm hoping so as well. I'm hoping so as well, but why? I don't know. Unless you're in sometimes in a camp like MVP where, and I see a lot of people complain about, Steve Francis MVP and how they do things. And I've always told you all over the years that I don't have a problem with it because sometimes athletes need that level of management. They need people to be over them with big stick. You know what I mean? To force them into making sure that they're dotting all their I's and crossing their T's. Remember, for the most part, as a professional athlete, you're responsible for yourself, which means that if you turn up to training and you are not doing what is required of you, nobody now going to cuss you and run you out of the club. Coaches are still going to be collecting their check. Yes, Bruce also did highlight that they have, mental health sessions every Thursday. I do recall that. So the men's 3,000 meter steeplechase finals is starting now. Tia ran quite a number of 200s this season, So as I said, I don't believe that because based on what I've seen with my two eyes, plus also listen to as well when it comes to the athletes from MVP, I do not believe that there's a thought process of a heavy reliance on the start. That doesn't mean, however, that they plan on dropping their base, which is the actual start. I think the philosophy is that they believe an athlete can have a good start and a good finish, and they're going to continue that way. And I don't think it's impossible to achieve. You want an update on the females 100-meter semifinal? hurdle semifinal. The big, I think, thing coming out of it, Kira Nugent did not advance to the finals. Daniel Williams advanced, Toby Amerson advanced, Masaros advanced, Grace Stark advanced. If you ask me how things look going into the finals, those four are my top. Oh, uh, what's her name? The other athlete from Europe looked good as well. She's in the conversation as well. I forgot to mention her. Her name is slipping me right now. Let me just go back and pull it up. What's that? That's the 15. That's the long. Let's just go into this one. Let's just click on this one. So her name is Nadine Visser. So Nadine Visser also looks good, but I have to say those four I think have separated themselves in terms of how things look, but it's the hurdles. So you never really tell if somebody is capable of surprising. I've seen Bitaji Kambunji, come into finals and run really well, better than you thought she would run, based on what you saw in the rounds before. And that kind of mirrors as well what you see from her big sister. Her big sister has a way of not looking good, but managed to miraculously do good. You know what I mean? So with that being said, those are the athletes to keep your eyes on. If you ask me what I want, as I said, based on what I saw, I believe Daniel can pull off silver, right? But that's what I'm hoping for. Best case scenario. Well, best case scenario overall is gold, right? But I'm still trying to be a little bit more realistic. So I'm thinking silver. But given what I saw, it may go Toby, Masai, and Daniel. And Grace Stark will be there. All right, so the 3,000 men steeplechase is off. I'll give you updates at intervals. Most Jamaicans don't take mental health seriously. We do not. Who trains Daniel Williams? The coach. I don't remember his name right now, but he coaches. He's the head coach, I believe, for what's that school called that wears orange? Clemson. Um, his name is Graham. I think his name is Graham. Yeah, Lennox Graham. Arlen, is it Lennox Graham? Graham is his last name. Yeah, Lennox Graham. Yeah.
Stimulated by the whole occasion and the chaos of it. If you get yourself to the start line ignoring all that, then ignorance is bliss. Men in this field that are desperately trying to punch into the top five and
Elaine said when she feels the worst, she runs the best.
he's just got
Yeah, no, that's a different thing than from a mental perspective. That's two different things. Um,
Still hasn't made any move whatsoever. He is right at the back. Now, he's not quite in sort of sub eight shape that we've seen from him in previous years.
yeah, guys, Kishane, and I think Coach Paul, Stephen Francis highlighted the fact that they will be doing 200s in the future, right? I'm sure I do recall them doing an interview and they talked about it, right? The problem is that remember Kishane has an injury issue first and foremost. So they can't throw him into the 200 just like that willy-nilly. It's something that they have to ease him into. Let's put it that way. So I'm hoping that maybe we can see them try to slowly, ease him into 2026. But even if we don't see it, I want you guys to keep in mind that that is also part of his issue, the injuries. So we don't want him to thrust him into the 200s, and then guess what? It makes matters worse, and he's out for the 100 apps 100%. I would rather a Kishane Thompson that hasn't fixed his craft that can still give us a medal than a Kishane that we're forcing him to immediately fix everything, and guess what? It ends up being nothing at the end of the day because he's out with an injury. Toby Daniel Masai. Nadine Visser, right? That's the name I was trying to remember. Thank you for the $2 super sticker. Way YouTube. I appreciate it.
Laps to go still.
3:04 for the first 1,000 metres, and the way that
I
we've seen
think
steeplechase
if I'm looking at a bigger spoiler,
for the first
I think I would still give Grace Stark over Nadine Visser.
By the way, you're
The
watching the
question is in my mind, is Grace Stark back to 12-2 shape? I think that's probably the biggest question. So if we take that into consideration and we say, what if Grace is not back to 12-2 shape? You know what I mean? Then Nadine ranks ahead of her.
gone up from the bad form to qualify. Kiwi, world indoor champion over the 15, tucked in on the curve with a light
So
finish weight
steeplechase, let me just give you an update. Let me just pull it up a bit so you guys can know who is leading. So leading is Edmond Sherm from Kenya, and in second is Frederick Rupert from Germany, with the U.S. athlete Daniel in third,
catching up with round 4 at the
and
moment.
we're halfway there.
At the moment, so it's thanks to 76
So we're
seconds.
halfway through the 3,000-meter steeplechase.
Be a small improvement for Zhao here. She's going very, very well, very consistently. Cameron Rogers, the Canadian Olympic champion, half a hand on a back-to-back title here. She's out over 80 metres. Zhao giving chase here, 76-65.
Because as you notice, the no, it wasn't one season, guys. Oblique Seville has been in background running fours and twos for a minute now. You know what I mean? If you watch him early season, you will see him do like a 400 or maybe a 200 or something like that. And I think that's been happening for either from 2023, I want to say, or 2024. But it's not just this year.
Oblique feet. Rupert stunned everybody with that 8:01 and then won the Diamond League finals with that
Why is
8:01.
only Jamaican badmouth the athletes when something happens and not in the way when some Jamaican don't? What?
I know El Bakkani's confident, but you wouldn't want him
Badmouthing
thinking
athletes. What is happening here?
He's too far back. If something happens here and there's athletes further up the field, he
And
can't
yeah, and
catch up.
Oblique Civil also has his own, injury issues as well. It's something that they don't want to elaborate on, and that's fine to me. Um,
This final,
but yeah, so he has some kind of injury concern that he
protected
worries about a lot,
the bit.
and he has worried about it at the national championships, and I suppose that's when he had that mental break, at the national championships. And then also I believe in the heats, it also was a worry for him, or at least a concern. And he was like, all right, rather than blast out of the blocks, let me just walk out of the blocks just in case to save myself. So that's why he navigated it the way he did.
Rupert getting a shove on the shoulder. If somebody was feeling brave enough, they could go here.
I was wondering if
Start
Akeem
to
Blake should
slow it
switch
down.
coaching staff to help him
60
with his
on
top end. What do you think?
stop.
It,
At the back.
it's always going to be tricky when you talk about Akeem Blake and switching camps.
Pay close attention
And
to
honestly, it's something I think will probably never happen, even if you think it's required. And I don't know if I think it's required, you know what I mean?
no penny
But
marks. He was out of sorts.
I want you guys to
First
remember his
third place in the
backstory,
final and was rewarded with a
right?
place on the podium.
So his
Looks like it's
backstory is
torn us apart.
he's fresh out of
No
school,
response yet from
and he doesn't
Alfred.
have much options as it relates to how to progress his career in track and field. And he reaches out to Johan Blake,
2 laps to go.
and he says to Johan Blake, hey, I'm such and such, and I'm looking to do this, and I would love to be a part of your training. And remember, he has $0, so he can't pay for coaching. And Johan Blake tells him to come through, and the rest is history. So when you are part of a camp, or you enter a setup where somebody did you a solid, you know what I mean, you're not going to be, it's because it's going to be seen like a betrayal of some sort if he just takes it up himself and leaves, you know what I mean. As I said, whether or not that would be for the best is another story, but it's not going to be a good look. It won't be a good look if he just takes up himself and leaves. So I guess you could say this is a situation where he's stuck, between a rock and a hard place. So here we are in the final, 250 of the 200 of the 15 3,000 meter steeplechase, and We have them jostling for positions. It's getting very, very interesting. But Beamish is leading from New Zealand. No, that's not what I'm seeing on screen. El Bakali is leading from on my screen. All right, let me not look at this card. This is apparently way ahead, or I'm not seeing what is going on. But El Bakami is leading, and the New Zealand athlete is coming. I guess he's gonna take gold. I spoiled it, Trackies. I'm so sorry. So the New Zealand athlete takes the win. The Kenyan ends up third with El Bikabi into second. So Beamish takes the win from New Zealand. From Morocco, El Bakali is second, and Edmond Sirom from Kenya ends up third. So Serem is apparently very, very young. He's the youngest medalist ever. Boy, medalist Eddie Monta. I want to see how far El Bakali is coming from, because El Bakali I lose out on the line for much years now. He's distraught. He's losing out on the line from the times when Chariot was running in this event. What is his name again? A Chariot in what was the Kenyan name? I think a Chariot, not true. What was that top Kenyan name? Something Chariot. El Bakali is distraught. I want to see how old he is. Let me copy his name. Because he's coming up. He's been running this event for a minute, you know. Copy. Let me see. El Bakali is how old? He's 29 now. How far is he coming from? He's 2x Olympic champion. Um, one silver medalist and 2 times world champion. Well, he has won a number of times. That's for sure. So why do I feel like he's always missing out? Let me see his years. Where has he started? He started in Brazil. That was his first Olympics, at least the finals. Well, that was his first Olympics because he would be too young for 2012. 2017 was his first World Championship medal. Second. Who did he lose out to in 2017? Are these the years where Chariot was dominating from Kenya? 2017? No, it's Kipruto. Kipruto, that's the name. That's the name, Kipruto. Let me go back another year. Let me go to 2019. Let me see if it's the same Kipruto. Because I don't know why I'm thinking it's Chariot. Is Chariot the one from the 1500? Okay, all right, it's Kipruto. Kipruto. Um, Yeti 200 is essential for the 100. No, I'm not saying it's not essential. I definitely think it's essential. I think that's something I've spoken about a lot on my channel as well, about athletes running the two. But I'm not going to be forcing an athlete to run the two when they have injury problems, because you don't want to, make things worse, right? So, and again, I'm not a coach, so the coach has to figure out when is the right time to have these athletes run the two. Hey, WayTube, thank you for the $10 super chat. Big up to Oblique, the Sprint Seville, Kishane, Hurricane, Thompson, and Tina Clayton, Jamaica. Gold, silver, silver. Absolutely. Big up to the athletes. They have been competing well and strong. I believe a sports psychologist will be beneficial for the team. They do have one. I believe they do have one, but Remember, most of these people are in their own camps, so I guess they probably use whatever is in house if they do use one. Want everything? Come on, T. What did I say? Sorry. Timothy Chariot is the 1500, right? So sorry about that. So Chariot is the 1500-meter one. The other one that I was speaking to, the other Kenyan, because Kenya has dominated the 3000. Kenya before recent times, I don't believe they lost any 3000 meters steeplechase, that is, right? They were the dominant force in that event. And as one person retired, they would always have somebody coming through the conveyor belt that picked up right from where the other person left off. So when the Kimani says when the 110-meter hurdles finals comes up and I don't see Nugent, I'm gonna be mad all over again. Yeah, I feel you there. I feel you 100%. It's gonna be disappointing not seeing her, but I do believe that Danielle Williams deserves our full support. And yeah, that's what we're going to give her. As a matter of fact, let me check the time because nobody not bring no pot cover can give me. I need me pot cover them. So 8:20. So there's a break in there's a break. So give me a second. Let me go dig up those pot covers. I don't know where I threw them away yesterday. I thought I left them in here, but apparently I didn't. So I'm gonna have to go search. Give me a second, guys. Okay, trackies, I found them. I'm ready with my pot covers. Let's just keep them here. So let's just put them there. Let's go into the pole vault and see how that is looking. So the pole vault finals, I think they're pretty much done now. So looks like the Australian gets third in the pole vault, and the Greek will be second, and the Swiss, no, not Swiss, the Swede will be first. So Armand wins, Carelis second, and Marshall third. Oh, I wonder what the podium is looking like now that I think about it. Let me jump over into this medal podium. Because no American ends up on the podium here. And I gotta look for the medal podium. Medals. Timetable. Medals. Medals. So medals. Still 6 for USA. Still 3 for Kenya. No, Kenya should be moving up now. Because I know that Kenya just win another bronze medal. No, Kenya was 2 before. No, Kenya was 2. Kenya was on 2 gold. Okay. So 3 for Kenya, 3 for Jamaica still. No improvement from our end. Let's see if any other country has moved up. I know that um Italy had, I think, 4 yesterday or something like that. Um Italy still has the same 4. Ethiopia still has the same 3. Okay. So from a tally perspective, USA leads with 6. Italy second with 4, Jamaica, Ethiopia, Kenya come next with all with 3. But as we all know, it's done based on the quality of the medal. So USA leads with 6 because they have 5 gold. Kenya is in second because they have 2 gold medals, and Jamaica is in third because we have 1 gold medal. I see somebody in the chat that I haven't seen in a minute or heard from in a minute, and I'm gonna call him out. So I hope he know. I suppose that the moment I said it, he knows. Anyway, um, I remember the days where only Africans were winning the long distance races. I don't want to say only Africans because there was a athlete from, I want to say Morocco back in the day, like in the early 2000s. I don't remember his name right now. He would have a look like how El Bakali looks, right? And he was really really good. I don't remember his name right now, but I don't want to say they've always been winning, but you always had, a few athletes. But then again, Morocco in Africa. Ah, wait a minute. I don't know where Morocco is, guys. Let me double check. Okay, they're in Africa. All right. What was the comment again? Let me see what the comment said. When only Africans. Okay, what I said is a moot point. Next, let me move on. Was he from Morocco? Where was that athlete from? Was he from Morocco? I'm sure some of you may remember who I'm talking about. Was he from Morocco? How fast do you think Oblique can go in the 200? I definitely think he's sub 20 caliber. I thought that from last year actually. So last year when he ran that 20.13, I thought he was capable of running 19.8 actually from then. So it's even better this year. It's just that he doesn't do it. So let's see what happens. So the women's 100-meter hurdles finals comes up in 4 minutes. Agostino! Hi, sir. I realize that we are falling out of contact, sir. What's good, sir? I hope you're okay. Oh my gosh. That last correspondence was wild. By the way, I still stand by that though. I have to say, I still stand by it. Um, but yeah, I have been what? In and out of this room, but I can't sit by and allow you to refer to our athletes as bees. Who is all right? Mods. Whoever is in the comments or the chat referring to our athletes as bees, you need to do what you know you need to do. There's no way anybody, and I don't care whether you're Jamaican or not, nobody should be referring to anybody's athletes as bees. I didn't see that comment. So yeah. Thanks for highlighting that, Agostino. Come on, guys. Who is this person? And why are you calling our athletes bees? Like, what is this? Are you a grade schooler? Lachlan Kennedy says he can compete with Jamaicans and believes he can beat anyone on his day. Sure, on his day. There's no day that is his, though. The last time I checked, there is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Does the you hear one day called Lachlan? Ah! Wait a minute. I found that one too funny. Anyway, guys, please find whoever this person is and ban them out of the chat, please. There's nobody that needs to be referring to anybody's athletes as bees. I don't care who the person is. Elga Rouge, yes. Elga Rouge. Which country is from Elga Rouge is from? Yes. You guys hit the name on on the head. The nail on the head. Elga Rouge. Go. God, I me can't spell this name. Let's just make it up. He's also Moroccan. Okay, he was also Moroccan as well. What were his events? Let me write it back and see what were his events. El Garouche. So he used to compete in the 1500. 1500? He never run nothing longer than that? 1500 mile. I could have sworn he was in longer distances too. Okay. Guys, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. All right, women's 100-meter finals right now. Right now, it is happening. It is going down. I will get back to the chat after. I'm trying to find my live update so that I can get into the start list and tell you real quick who is there and who is in what lane. All right. So in lane two, Piotr from Poland is in lane two. In lane three, Ditaji Kambunji. In lane four, Daniel Williams from Jamaica. And Ditaji Kambunji is from Switzerland. In lane five, Grace Stark from the United States of America. Lane six, Toby Amerson from Nigeria. Lane seven, Masai Russell from United States of America. Lane eight, Nadine Visser from Netherlands. And in lane nine, Devin Charlton from the Bahamas. So the middle lanes is where we keep our eyes. Well, then again, lies, keep your eye everywhere. Because anywhere from, I think, the Taji Kambunji, Daniel Williams, Grace Stark, Toby Amos and Masai Russell to Nadine Visser, I think all these athletes can pull us. Well, another athlete outside of the four that I mentioned can pull a surprise. But I still think you keep your eyes on Daniel Williams, Grace Stark, Toby Amosan, um, Masai Russell, Nadine Visser. You know what? Keep your eyes on everybody. All right, we're ready. Ready with the flag. Ready, ready when you're ready. Well, well. Come, Daniel. Oh, God, this is stress, you know. On your marks. Why does everything feel so? Oh, back up a little bit. Set. All right, they're off. Clean start. Great start. That's a great start. Daniel Williams is behind. Oh no, Daniel is out here. Daniel is out. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Ditaji Kambunji is leading. Here comes Toby Amos and Ditaji is leading. Ditaji wins. Ditaji wins. Amos and second, Stark third. Me don't know where everybody else did there. National record Ditaji Kambunji. Track is me never just telling us that Ditaji Kambunji have one way of not looking like she in it and come do sitting. Me never just tell us that she and her sister do the same thing time and time again. Jesus Christ. If I want thing about them Kambunji sister, yeah, them know how we spring a surprise. National record. Gold. Me don't know where my side today. Never see my side at all. Because from Daniel hit the hurdle, let me say, guys, me lose track of everything. From Daniel hit the hurdles, I lost track. My mind went blank. My mind went blank. My mind went blank, guys.
This would add 7 centimeters to his lifetime best, and he would go joint third on the all-time list with the great Sergei Bubka.
He's still African tea, yeah. I realize. Sorry, guys.
Sets at it.
Lord of mercy.
This for an absolutely epic, epic moment. Oh, that was so close. That was so close. I think he can do it. This guy is in the form of his life. He loves the pressure.
Okay, I'm glad you're okay, Agostino.
He's got a friendly rivalry with Duplantis, and he'll feel that he can do it. Well, what about that from Kambunji? That run puts her joint seventh on the all-time list. She has smashed a world-class field to pieces.
I think there's an apology somewhere, T. From me? Oh no, I stand by that 100%, Agostino. I am not gonna. I honestly don't care what other people think about us, and I don't think we need to try to force people to think, a certain way about us. If they've already shown you how they think about us, why do you think you can convince them otherwise? I think that's a moot point. I think you're wasting your breath, and I'm certainly not going to waste my breath. And I'm certainly not going to be in these YouTube streets fighting with no other YouTuber. If they feel the way they feel on their platform, go right ahead. Not this girl. But you know what I find interesting is the same thing I told you. The same people that are supporting these people that are saying bad things about Jamaicans are Jamaican.
And that is really one of the, well, we have, it's not one of the surprises of the championships. We've had many surprises. We just had Jordy Beamish with the men's steeplechase.
Mondo for 6:15. This surely would seal the gold, and it does. 6 out of 6. He says, hang on, I'm not finished. Hang on.
Mando is leading 6.15 meters. I don't know if he's going to try to. I don't know if he's going to try to break the world record here, but let's see.
Beyond his lifetime best. It would be a massive clearance, and he's got it in the locker. But you have to pay.
Neither Masai nor Daniel made no noise. No noise.
Breathtaking to watch.
Never predict hurdles. LOL. Mighty God, what a race. Kambunji. Kambunji wins. No, sir. I'm going to second. Pot cover put on. No, this is not a race that you can hit a hurdle in and come back from. So the moment she hit the hurdle, I knew she was out of it. My feed is slow. Sorry, guys. I don't know what I'm going with it. Not a soul predict that. Nobody predicted it. No, she was in nobody's predictions. You're even more pissed at Nugent. Ah, boy. Masai choke. I don't even know if they showed us the replay. Did they show us the replay? I want to see the replay. So Daniel Williams ended up being seventh. Masai was fourth. Masai didn't even medal.
What an incredible night. By the way, this has been a great evening and a great day for African.
Girl, your commentating has me cracking up. No, I'm telling you, said the Tajian. Look here, if you go back, go watch Mojinga Kambunji. Go back, go watch Mojinga Kambunji. And tell me if she ever look like somebody where I go make finals. And she make finals. Go back and watch her running the 60 meters indoors and tell me if she ever look like somebody where I go win. She win 2 times. She's a 2-time world indoor champion. And if you watch her round by round, she no look like she a win.
Still going. There's one of them. Mondo Duplantis, 6 out of 6. Corrales has one last attempt. One failure at 10 by a whisker. Bar goes up to 15. One failure.
Nasa.
This would be an absolutely incredible clearance. He's riding high off the adrenaline of an amazing.
Masai was probably tired. Tired of doing what?
Championship final before. He's guaranteed a silver. If he was somehow to get over 6:20, this would take him beyond.
No, sir. I need to see the replay. Nobody never show. I don't think they put up the replay.
And he would go second on the all-time list.
See, I was referring to this, and that me I talk about I'm not apologizing for that. I stand my ground with that, Agostino. As a matter of fact, you need to apologize to me. You need to apologize to me.
Season he's had, and after the night we've enjoyed, anything is possible. This for a gigantic national record and a
So
gigantic
guess what, Trackies? We do not get another medal on the podium, unfortunately. So no increase in the medal counts.
it's not to be.
Just so you go.
All credit to him for
Massa had a terrible start and could not recover. Okay.
Morales.
I need to see the replay. I don't think I saw the race. I need to see the race again.
He's raised the standard this year.
Cam
He's pushed
Bond
the artist again and again
G.
and again. A medal for him, silver, and it's
All
yet
right.
another
Let me
gold.
see if I can watch the race again and the person has scream at me. So me sound when me talk to? Or some me scream at people?
To go. He's got to go for 6:30, Hillary, hasn't he?
See the official just trying to politely but firmly get over to the artist and ask what he wants to do.
All right.
Conversation.
Massa, I didn't get the best start, but I dare say she and Toby got the same start. I want to see the side view. I want to see the side view. But anyway, Toby also didn't get a good start. If Toby was able to recover from that start, I dare say Masai could have recovered too. But you have some people that when they're running, and let's go back to the start discussion that we were having with about MVP. If they don't execute a start, it throws off the whole race, which means that it throws off their entire drive phase and acceleration. And what I witnessed in this race from Masai was that she could not accelerate. So maybe because she didn't hit her start, she couldn't accelerate properly in the race. However, somebody like a Toby Amusan that doesn't always get the best start is probably used to having to accelerate without that start. You know what I mean? So probably that is, the difference between them two. But I would say Masai, given where she was and where Toby was, what could have still featured. Maybe not one, but featured. Um Danielle Williams unfortunately hit that hurdle and took herself out. That was like the second hurdle, and that was it. The second hurdle, and that was it. Let me see what happened with Nadine Visser. Nadine Visser got a horrible start, even worse than everybody else. Um, Let me see where she ran back to. Yeah, Nadine Visser ended up where? Back at the park? Yeah, back at the park. She had the worst start. So yeah, that's what happened.
Marshall's on the podium again. Give an insight as to what this will mean to him and for Australian athletics.
For Australian athletics, we love an athletics medal. An athletics medal means the absolute world. It'll boost his profile. It'll boost our sport. It'll boost the generation.
Nothing is set in stone when setting a race. Oh no, nothing is set in stone. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's why the races are run. They would have given out the medals, on paper if that wasn't the case. Massa hit a hurdle bad. I don't think I saw that. I'd have to look again. Yeah, no one predicted that. No one. No one had her in their top. I would even say five. Nobody even had her in the top five.
It's Beyonce. Well, it's familiar territory for her. She can but watch. He said the world record in Stockholm would be amongst his all-time memories.
Mujinga. So Mujinga, Akira, Tia. There's somebody else. Is it Grace? There's somebody else. They were all at the same stage as juniors.
World record beckons, world league beckons. Do you think, Hannah, in the fullness of time,
You will engage this offline? Okay, no problem.
as one of the all-time great athletics legends?
The hurdles are very unforgiving, which is why you have to ensure that you're good technically. You can't have, even Daniel Williams hit the second hurdle and was out. At this level, you have to be efficient. You have to be clean. Don't dream of medaling if you're not clean.
Disrespect that. Some of the public sitting at home will say, "Oh, what's the big deal? He just flies up over 6 meters." What he does time and time again is obscene. And the very fact that he makes it look masterful, I think makes it even more impressive to me. And his technique will be
Masa hit a hurdle. I didn't see that. Which part she hit that hurdle then?
international team
I never see that there. Where did she hit that hurdle? The fifth hurdle? No, but she was her start. All right, it was downhill from her side before she got to the fifth hurdle. They had them out there waiting for 10 minutes. To be fair, oh, that's a thing. The Taji is not Mojinga. We all know that the Taji is not Mojinga. I said they're similar in terms of how they will sneak you. So if you watch them through the rounds, the Taji is the one that we call Mojinga, right? Which I don't call the Taji Mojinga. Actually call what's her name? Kambunji. I'm getting confused now. Their names are thrown before a loop. Bitaji Kambunji, Mujinga Kambunji. Okay, so I call the older sister Kambunji, and I call the younger sister by her first name, which is Bitaji. But they have similar ways of executing where they creep up on you in a sense that they'll do enough to get through 2 rounds, but in the finals they will literally pull something ridiculous off. She did hit a hurdle. Okay. I didn't see maybe I wasn't watching her all the way up there. I was really focused on her start since that's what people highlighted. And yeah, she had a bad start. But I do think that Toby also didn't have a good start. But I think we were robbed of, am I the only one that didn't see the replays? Did they show replays? 12.24 national record. Yeah, man, putting her up into top 10 all time. That's crazy. So they disqualified the Olympic champion Cole Hocker.
It was a spot in a global final.
What did he do?
For Cole Hocker, and unfortunately, the track judge had taken a look at that and decided that it is a disqualification for Cole Hocker. It could be a counter appeal yet.
My name is Wendo. Apparently, they disqualified the Olympic champion.
Just let the night settle here in Tokyo for an absolute.
In the men's 1500 meters.
Robert Farken of Germany, there he is. I think Farken of Germany very much deserved to be advanced. He was in a qualifying position until he was impeded.
So he was apparently impeded. So Farken from Germany was impeded by Cole Hocker. I looked at the screen a little too late, so I didn't see the actual infringement. But them not play. Oh, I can't put the mic that way. Sorry. Yeah. Mojinga is pregnant now. She's starting a family.
I think there was tension for them trying to get this title time, and they wouldn't have been greedy. They wouldn't have been trying to get.
All right, guys. So that's pretty much it for the morning session. So no addition to the medals for Team Jamaica. Big surprise in the big surprise for the winner, I would suppose. But not that she doesn't have the caliber to do it. But when you're looking at having the likes of a defending world champion that has done it twice, you're looking at having the Olympic champion, you're looking at having the world record holder. You're not necessarily thinking that those athletes will be outpaced, but they certainly were. The Tajik definitely had the cleanest race out of everybody. I would say the athlete that executed the second best was Grace Stark, right? And I guess that's why she finished second. I think Grace Stark was second, right? And then Toby was third, or was it the other way around? Either way, trackies, I definitely think that you just have to execute your best race on the day, and that's how you medal. For many of the top contenders, they didn't, and that's why they didn't medal. All right, guys. So if there's nothing else, I'm just going to tell you what is to come up later. So what comes up later tonight for us will be the morning session on day 4. So the morning session on day 4 will be the men's 800 meters comes up the heats, and that's at 5:35 Wait, that's not my time.
Now, how many sports would you have the two
Why is this not?
protagonists
This should
just
be on my
vying for
time.
global glory, helping each other to this extent?
That's that pretty
Huh?
standard for the temperature.
Corrales is he is cooling. The man who's always ice cold. That
Oh,
is
there's only an evening session, so
two men.
there's no morning session. I was wondering what the heck. Okay, so there's no morning session for day 4, which means that there's no live stream tonight. And I know you guys didn't see me last night. I needed to rest my tonsils; they were killing me, so I rested them a bit. But there's no morning session for day 4, so I will join you guys same time tomorrow morning, which is around 5:20 ish, for the 800-meter heats for the men, followed by the triple jump qualification for the women. We have Shanika Ricketts there. The men's 800 meters, we have Navaski Anderson, and also our new national record holder is going to be there as well. So I'm excited for them both in the event. I'm looking out for the men's high jump final. We have Romain Beckford there as well. Uh, Men's 110-meter hurdle semifinal. We have, you know, three athletes that qualified. So looking out to see them compete. Um, the men's hammer throw comes up. Women's 400 meter semifinal comes up. Of course, we have to look out for the likes of Nikisha Price, of course, Stacey Ann, Dejanay qualified as well. So we're looking out for her. Then we jump into the women's 1500-meter finals. We didn't have Adele qualify, out of the first round. And for the men's 110-meter hurdles, of course, we have to wait and see what happens in the semifinal before we know who will participate in the final. But so far, I think our Jamaicans look competent enough to make it to the finals at least. And this is the hurdle, so it's who executes on the day. So we will wait for that. Um, is there anything else that you guys want me to update you on before I go?
Yet another moment of sporting history. The goal is a
Did
shot
Rashawn qualify for? Yes, he did, but on the bubble. So he's gonna have to clean things up for the semi. But things are looking pretty tough for Jamaica, to be fair, if we're looking to make it through to the finals. Oh, he almost got it! Whoa!
it's just
So
toiling
Mondo
over.
almost hit that 6.30 meters, which will be a new world record if he gets it. So, yeah.
Chemistry, a world and
Glenn
Olympic
Mills has
champions
another
alike
medal through Toby Amosan. Yes, he does.
keep that up.
Um,
And he's just teasing. He's just
any
teasing
news
them.
on Tajay Gale?
Jump it with him as well.
Did something happen to Tajay?
Improve it to the
Oh, outside of making it, yes, he qualified. So Tajay and Nikolai qualified automatically, which is good, which is the big Q, right? So Tajay had the second furthest jump.
comes down on it.
I think it was the second furthest jump, right? And Nikolai had the fourth furthest jump in qualifying. None of that matters though. That slate is wiped clean for the finals and they start from scratch. All the athletes. I'm looking for more consistency when it comes to both of them competing. Actually, both of them compete the same way, where they tend to foul a little bit too much, especially Tajay, and that tends to be leaving too much on the line. So I'm hoping that they can, get more clean jumps, and with more clean jumps, more opportunities to, get further jumps and be a part of the conversation at the end of the day. I have Jamaica down for a silver medal. I gave it to Kerry. Kerry didn't qualify for the finals. So I'm hoping that Tajay will be able to pull it off, and you never know what Nikolai will be able to do as well. I didn't have him down to medal, but let us see.
My son is my age before you see anyone who gets anywhere
Tajay is
near
leading
this
and Williams third. I saw.
event. We really
I
try
thought it
to
was third
see
and fourth.
athletes
Let me go
take
back
this
and look.
Yeah, I think we should. We
Um,
do. I think that's why the
where is
stadium
the
is
thing?
so full. I
I
think
thought
that's
it
why
was
we're seeing
second
such a
and
big
fourth.
vibe as well. Yes, we will
Why
see
is World
numbers
Athletics doing this to
in times, but
me?
I think in the moment we still
Men's
need to
long jump. Okay,
appreciate
results.
what he can do
Summary.
for the event as a whole.
Okay, sorry. So Tajay Gill had the furthest jump, and Nikolai had the fourth furthest jump. So 8.28 for Tajay. The Spaniard Lester Lesque 8.21, and the world and Olympic champion Miltadi Santaglu 8.17 in qualifying with Nikolai Williams 8.15 meters. Those were the only four that automatically qualified. As I said, though, none of this matters. I've seen people, throw big, jump big in, qualifying and don't do anything in the finals. So the guys have to reset and know that this is a whole, clean slate and get their minds ready to compete again. When I think about Samantha Hall, she said that her competition wasn't as strong as she was in her qualifying because she fell a bit flat. She felt flat. She didn't feel like her energy was up, like her energy levels were down. So athletes have to take all these things into consideration. What you did in the qualifying round has nothing to do with the finals. It's a whole fresh slate to go, and anybody can feature because you have some people that barely qualify. And when they reach finals, then bust out one big old jump. You don't wonder where that come from. So keep those things in mind.
On the line when they compete. So they're looking after each other because if you get that wrong, Molly Caudry hopefully will bounce back from her injury this morning in warm up
See, you need to give consistent updates for new people that join. I can't tell when there are people that have joined new. So guess what? As long as you ask me in the chat for that update, I will give it to you. Absolutely. Um, Thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. WayTube. Blessings to you too. Love you too. Keep the good work. Keep up the good work. I will. And I appreciate you guys also holding, TXC Track Time accountable to, continue to always putting out good content because I want to always, be putting out, high level content. So yeah, you always keep, well, then again, me not to ask, no, keep me foot to the fire regardless, but I appreciate it. um, I love how Jamaicans are suffocating the Americans with yesterday's results. Yeah, they're going ham online for sure. For sure. Big up Jamaica. Big up to the ladies in the hurdles. Yep. All right, so trackies, that is it. Another excellent stream. Things didn't really go our way today, and that's how the cookie crumbled. That's life. We just take it a chip on that shoulder and move on to the next event. So as things stand right now, at least I think we're down. For some people, it may have been one medal. You know what I mean? So we're down a medal in the women's 100-meter hurdles. Let's move on to the next. You know what I mean? And I'm excited for that. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow morning. I will be doing, some videos that I'll be dropping on the channel. So look out for those videos. I would appreciate it if you take a watch and give it a like as well so that it can get through the YouTube algorithm. That being said, trackies, love you lots, and I will catch you all in the next video. Okay, I see somebody asking what happened to Sipana San. She decided not to take part at the World Championships. Apparently, she's interested in road racing now. So that's where you'll catch her. All right, guys, that's it. I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.